lot on my mind, a lot on my chest. That's why.
Yo. What is up? We are back again. Welcome to the Inner Match-Up. I'm Power Maxis. We're here with everyone's favorite demigod, Lord Triage, and we got two awesome battles for you guys today. Again, we're running Nexus, we're running Reckoning, and if you're new to tuning in, what we do here is we take these two indie comic book characters and we face them off against each other, and we run through their power, stats, and abilities and see who will win and who will come out in the end in a random encounter between these two characters. So this is going to be a good one. We have Nexus characters, we have Reckoning characters. Nexus characters are characters that are just the characters as they are. They don't have a published work yet, but or that work is in process. And then we have Reckoning, who are already established and have published books as well. So for today, we have, for our Nexus matchup, we have two characters by the same creator, Omnicomics. Shout out to Dre Burke. Dre, hope you're in the comments. This one's all you. We have Incendiary versus Varus. So this is gonna be a good one. This is gonna definitely be a good one. These guys look like they're incredibly powerful characters, very super strong characters. Dre, what is up? So yeah, I can't wait to get into this. What you thinking, Triage?
I think this is going to be colorful.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. All right, so let's start it off here. Let's take a look here. All right, so off rip, look at this man. This man he looks wild. So to my understanding, that there was already a previous battle that that Incendiary was a part of before we came along to and took over the show. And apparently he won that one. So I'm interested to see what he got going for us this time around. But yeah, just straight off the art, I have to talk about this art. This art is so damn clean. Like it looks so fucking cool. So by all means, Dre, definitely shout out your artist, because that's pretty damn sick. So as normal, what we're gonna do here, we're gonna take a quick little zoom in here. All right. So if y'all wouldn't mind taking a look at this little circles, little dot up in the corner here, that means, let's see, that's an orange. So that means he is a, make sure we got looking at the right oranges here. Yep. Tier 5 planetary, which means he has one dot, so he is 5A, which means he is capable of large planet to dwarf star level destruction, which is pretty damn problematic, right? It's pretty damn problematic. Let's take a look. What else are we working with? Again, this is sick. So jumping on right on down to his power stats. Let's take a look here. His strength we're gonna start off with a strength here, which is the red diamond up there. He's sitting at a 5. It means he can lift between 25 to 75 tons. Going on to his intelligence, he's sitting at a 5, which means he is at genius level intellect. His speed is also sitting at a 5, which means he moves at subsonic speeds, moving at Mach 2 orbital velocity. Moving on down to his durability, he's sitting at a 6, which means he can withstand poisons, extreme temperatures, and concussive attacks. Moving on over to his agility, he's sitting at a 7, which is relativistic, which means he can react to and move near the speed of light. That is ridiculous. Sitting at a 6 for his energy projection, which is the little purple one there. 6 means he's able to discharge multiple forms of energy. And last but not least, his fight ability, he's sitting at a 5, master of a single form of combat. Okay, it's not too crazy. Move on down. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at his powers and equipment. So it does not look like he has any equipment, but he's pretty stacked in power wise. We're looking at he can generate focused explosions. He's a master of heat abilities like heat manipulation, generation, accumulation, beam emission, infusion, vision, blast, armor, aura, empowerment, fire immunity, incineration, as well as thermal reception, combustion inducement, and microwave manipulation. That's a lot. That's a pretty damn stacked power list. What you thinking off rip triage?
Man, looks like a zombie and sounds like a walking nuclear explosion.
For real. That is pretty ridiculous right there. But I don't know. And again, like the concept of the character seems pretty damn cool too. You know, from the look down to the powers. Dre, let us know more about this character, because there was a decent bit of traction underneath the initial posting for these battles. So we're gonna jump over there and take a look at those in just a minute. After we go over our second character in this battle, Varus. All right, let's take a look here. And again, let's see, 26, 6'5", 210. Yeah, no, yeah, he's pretty dope, pretty dope. All right, let's move on over to Varus. All right, he was inspired by Blight from Batman Beyond.
Incendiary was?
Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Because Blight was a pretty bad motherfucker.
Said, behold, I shall outstretch my hand and be as if a blight upon the land, and everything I touch shall wither and die.
Let me see. Why is this? Okay. So for Varus here, let's see, let's take a look here. Her tier level, she's sitting at 3 orange dots, but those are kind of like a darker orange. Oh, she's not in the same tier class as him, I believe. Yeah, she's in tier 6, so she's a tier lower than he is. So she's sitting at a tectonic tier, which is tier 6. So 3 dots, she's a 6C, which means she has island level destruction. I don't know. Just off the tier, you know, I probably shouldn't do this, but just off the tier, the difference in tier level, I think she's gonna have a problem. I definitely think she's gonna have a problem.
Island level destruction?
Yeah, as opposed to Incendiary, who's tier 5, which is planetary.
Well, that's a terrible matchup, rank scale wise.
Yeah, but let's see what she got. Let's see what she working with though. Let's not count her out yet, because we've done that before, and upon further inspection, we're like, oh, actually, hold on, never mind. So let's see what she got. Let's see what she's working with first. Ali, what's up? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, he's pretty damn serious. All right, so let's check this out. My bad. I didn't mean to stop on her hips like that. That was not intended. Did not mean to stop on her hips like that. All right. Let's take a look at her power stats. She's sitting at an 8 on her strength, which means she can lift multi-megatons, which is crazy. Sitting at an 8, lifting multi-megatons. Moving over to her intellect, she's a level 3, which means she's learned. So she all right. She's like, you know, above normal intellect. Moving over to her speed, she's sitting at a 4. Speed of sound up to Mach 1. All right. Moving on down to her durability, which is a 7, virtually indestructible. Okay, you see. So I think, you know, she got some redeeming abilities. So power stats. So we shall see. She's sitting at a 5 on her agility, which means she is hypersonic, able to dodge bullets at point blank range. That's pretty fast. But she is at a 0 on her energy projection, which means she has no energy projection whatsoever. But she is at a 6 on her fight ability, which means she's a master of several forms of combat. This is I want to say this seems like a bit of an uphill battle for her. But we shall see. She's 34, 6'6", and 800 pounds. 800 pounds. Dre, what is she made out of, bro? How is she 800? What is she made out of? That is ridiculous.
That bitch is solid.
Solid. 800 pounds is like the ground break when she steps. The ground gotta break when she steps. That is ridiculous. Let's take a look at her equipment and powers. Equipment, all she has is an axe, but let's read what this says here. Only can be wielded by her or her brother. Responds only to her command and has electrical abilities. Has energy projection and absorption. And then down to her powers, she has toxic immunity, fear toxin secretion, and transformation. I'm pretty sure the parentheses down here are connected to the transformation side. Drains energy that was stored in the axe in order to achieve greater strength. So it looks like the axe makes her physically stronger. I'm interested. So I don't know. That doesn't. I don't see where the transformation doesn't like. Does the transformation make her like a hulking? Like she absorbs the energy from the axe and like it physically changes her appearance that she becomes like fucking China, from wrestling or some shit, or She-Hulk type shit. If so, let us know what you think.
I was thinking more Kevin 11 as she takes on the density and durability of the axe.
Hmm. Hmm. Well, it does say it drains the energy from it. So, but that would be interesting too, because that would make sense why she ends up being 800 pounds, because she just absorbs the alloy from the axe. But I think this is more so like energy wise, like as she swings the axe or something. Because remember it says the axe has energy projection and absorption. So maybe like as she's using it and as it absorbs energy, she can then absorb that energy that the axe absorbed into herself, making her stronger and faster. If so, I feel like that gives her a bit of a fighting chance. Let's see. So Dre says she has a Hulkish like stage that increases her stats. Okay, all right. All right. That would be terrifying. Seeing a chick that is like, first off, wielding a big ass battle axe, right? Gets angry, does something, and next thing you know, she's not just a little chick wielding a big ass battle axe. Now she is a fucking Hulk wielding a big ass battle axe. That's fucking terrifying. That's terrifying. All right, so let's see here. Before we go over to the Facebook and check out what was said underneath the Facebook chat when it was initially posted, we shall let's get our initial thoughts. Let me see. She can use the accumulative energy from the axe, accumulative energy, and then it just makes her strength grow. Copy. So yeah, let's talk about this real quick. What are you thinking? Off rip, Triage? How's it looking for you? Before we head on over to the comments.
I don't see how this is gonna work in her favor.
Why do you say that?
Incendiary is literally a massive IED.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to agree with you. I mean, yes and no. I'm yes and no with this one. Definitely yes and no with this one. Specifically because Incendiary. Well, let's jump back to her more so. Let's jump back more so to her. Well, with her strength, she has him beat quite decently beat strength wise, as well as durability wise and fight skill wise, right? So, uh, oh, let me. Oh, I'm gonna switch back. I'm looking at the wrong card. But yeah, so she has him one up on some pretty significant abilities. He may be smarter than her, faster than her. Is his agility is faster than hers, and he actually has well, actually, hold on. Let me run it back. Her energy. I'm thinking her energy projection shouldn't be at a 0 then,
Why? For what?
because the axe has energy projection.
The axe does. She doesn't.
Mm, but if she has the axe, she has the ability to do that. I mean, yeah, I guess. Um, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, she's gonna have to be close range, but he can pretty much handle her from a distance. He can pretty much handle her from a distance. Mm, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I think she does have a chance. She would just have to play it smart because looking at his durability, like I said, he's a 6, which means um he can withstand the poisons, extreme temperatures, concussion attacks. But as we all know, like we said before, that also means he has bulletproof, dense skin to repel weapons. He has regenerative, which means it's difficult for him to permanently injure. But her, on the other hand, hers is a 7, which means she's virtually indestructible. So I'm interested in how he would be able to handle that when it comes to her. Like how would he be able to hurt her when she's virtually indestructible? You see, you know what I mean?
Well, virtually indestructible doesn't mean unkillable.
That's true. That's true.
We're virtually indestructible. Like, all right, like that's like saying if he goes kamikaze, is she walking away completely unscathed? Is it one of those things where her clothes just gonna be blown off her body, or is he blowing her
I like
limbs
that
off and
option.
she's still alive?
Oof, damn. But here, remember, the same thing applies for her though. Since she's a 7, she can also withstand poisons, extreme temperatures, concussive blasts, dense skin, regenerative, difficult to. So she also has all that too.
But that's not what he's doing.
Yeah. So I guess the question is like, all right, would that virtually indestructibility, and being able to withstand those extreme temperatures, um, would it be enough to guard her against his heat? And I I'm thinking it would give her some protection. You know what I mean? It would definitely make it. It wouldn't be. It's not completely one sided. I wouldn't say this fight is completely one sided. I don't think he's like completely demolishing her. I'm pretty. I think it's gonna be a decent sided battle between the two, with him coming out on top with the upper hand. I don't know. Like I don't know. I just have a hard time calling this as like one sided. You know
Where are
what I
they fighting?
mean? They are fighting Latveria, cold.
Of course.
And let's see, what's the risk level? The no risk level, no outside help. The usual. Hmm. But I'm just saying, they're fighting in Latveria. Doom not letting that happen. He's murking both of them. Doom's not gonna let that happen. Um, let's see. All right, so for when it comes to Incendiary, we have a lot. We have a lot. Actually, for both these characters, Dre, you did an absolutely amazing job in these comments. I'm taking a look absolutely amazing job in this, breaking down the characters, their powers, their abilities, as well as backstory. Yeah, he even dropped a little bit of a bio in here for each of them. Wow, that's a lot. That is wow, holy shit. And all I just want to point out that pretty much all the comments underneath here are Dre. Well, it makes sense because both characters are his. But yeah, let's jump on over here. Let's jump on over here. Boom. All right. All right. So first off, we have Dre saying Incendiary is a heat-powered extremist, domestic terrorist. He controls all forms of heat and can absorb all forms of heat. He can use said heat for a number of things: extreme enhanced strength, speed, durability, endurance. So here's a full breakdown of them. We already went through his powers, but here's a bio because this is going to help us determine what kind of person he is, how he would act and react in this battle. So Jacob is an eco-terrorist and an abnormal. And what he found out that the government wanted to regulate and register abnormals and their abilities and their weaknesses and their families and their locations. He was in an outrage and decided to build a group of sympathetic with his beliefs, and a group who was sympathetic with his beliefs that abnormals would not be regulated, that would not be contained, and they would not have to deal with such persecution and segregation due to the nature of how they were born. So he stages a terrorist bombing to get his point across to the world. So he says Incendiary is a Joe Chill of Pantheon, which is his comic book run that will be coming out soon. He is his first villain, and being a class A abnormal, he was born this way. He does not need food, air, or water to survive. His muscles, nerves, and bones are completely different from normal human and made to withstand his powers without failure. That is for Incendiary. So what do you think about that?
So the man's basically a grenade that can go off, reassemble himself, or not withstand any damage from what it is he does, and then he's immune to all aspects and all negative effects of his ability.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
So my whole thing with that is that, like, all right, she can put up a physical fight, like hand to hand. She's definitely whooping his ass from what the stats say.
Mm-hmm.
She's got the weight, she's got the fight, she's got the strength, and it's like physically she's beating him, but like that don't matter. Like if he goes big bang and all of a sudden she gets caught in the blast, because he's still going to be standing. The question is, will she?
Mm-hmm.
And who's to say how much her endurance can take him doing that? Because is this like a Mustang? Is this like a Mustang Lust situation where he's just going to keep?
Yeah, that's my question. Is it something that he can just, supernova,
Take that. Take that. So like that's where I'm going with this, because it's like, all right, she's nearly indestructible, but nearly indestructible is still not indestructible. And here's the thing too, like, does that just extend to her skin? Does that extend to her muscles? Does that extend to her deep tissue and her organs? For example, if he's flash frying her ass over and over again, and he goes full cabal and destroys her lungs, now she can't breathe.
Yep. So Dre says, as their creator, his biggest trump card is he controls microwaves, and hers is her overwhelming strength. So she can take him before he cooks her, or nuke the area with the force of 10 nukes. Yeah, I mean that's essentially the question. Like, can she Can't you take him out before he decides, you know what? Krakatoa. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Pompeii all over again. And that's the real question. So let's take a look at her bio. Let's take a look at her information and see if if it makes any difference. All right. Man, I might butcher this name. Ashra. Ashra. That's what it sounds like. Ashra. Yeah. Ashra and her baby brother were selected due to their mental capacity and special genome, making them dormant abnormals for Project Powerhouse by the Israeli Special Forces in order to be super soldiers. This faction would kidnap children and replace them with dead clone bodies in order to pacify the families under the belief that a tragic accident had befallen them. Damn, that's fucking dark.
So she's beside on top of that. A lot of problems get buried out in them deserts.
Yeah. Yeah, damn. Dre, you put a little bit too much thought in this one. A little bit too much thought in this one. Goddamn. All to make the perfect super soldier in order not to lose the race of on abnormals against America. The procedure was a success, and her brother were the only applicants who lived out of 200 candidates, turning her and her brother into monstrous-sized creatures. They served the Israeli government faithfully for years until they found out that their parents were asking too many questions and writing and protesting. So the government got rid of all the parents who lost children in the incident. This enraged her and her brother, and they took out the facility and the doctors who created them. Let's see. Varus is the powerhouse. Her and her brother were, dormant abnormals and choose to be a part of the government-based super short project. All right, bringing them latent potentials out. Just read all that. Her and her brother are part of yep. Called Project Even Playing Field. As a deterrent to the premier adult superhero team, the Protectors, the twins' primary target was the alien princess known as Desmonia, aka the Warrioress. Let's see. Vars and her brother are functionally immortal. They will never age or grow ill, because they can be, but they can be killed by force and acts. I'm sorry, the axe and can absorb various forms of energy. The axe can absorb various forms of energy, and once absorbed, she can use it later to unleash a She-Hulk like form that enhances her physical stats. Her immense strength, paired with her intelligence, makes her a very formidable foe. I'd say Incendiary is capable of unleashing power equal to or greater than a nuke. Can swing with that force. The more heat, and resources feeds. Oh, okay. So he can also okay. I don't know, man.
Wait, hold on. You said who power would to withstand that greater than a nuke?
Yeah. So when he goes off, his power is equal or greater than a nuke when he goes off.
Oh, I thought we were still on Varus.
No, not Varus. Not Incendiary.
I thought they stated that his was the equivalent of 10 nukes.
Yeah, that's what's equal to or greater than a nuke. I'm pretty sure. I guess that means he can control how strong the blast is.
Yeah, then she's boned.
She's boned.
She's boned. His lowest form can be that of a nuke, if not 2-3 times that. Yeah, no, come on, dog. And here's the question. So he's emitting microwaves too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where's her immunity to radiation at?
Hey, that's a solid point. That is
Yeah.
a solid fucking point.
It's all fun and games to glow in the dark.
He can continue to let out massive blasts as long as he's build up as a buildup of heat from any source. So he can only do it as long as he has a heat source. As long as he has like the energy to do it, then he can do it. He is also insane. He will level the area if he feels he can't win. Honestly, I can already see that. He's an eco-terrorist. He doesn't really give a fuck about anything else besides, him and his people. I 100% see that happening.
Terrorist is such a nasty word.
Jamar, what's up? Thank you for tuning in. Geez, man, yeah, off rip. Yeah, man. Yeah. Yep. I don't think we need to say anymore. Yeah, I think she's gonna put up a decent fight, but in the end, Incendiary's taking that.
So my thing close quarters is like, all right, he gets in close. Excuse me, she closes the gap, whatever. They start throwing blows. Even if he gets in within that axe, gets past the blade of the axe, he's not doing physical damage to her hands and feet. Not like that.
Ooh, but I have a question. The axe can absorb energy.
Yeah,
the question is, how much energy can that axe absorb? Will it be able to absorb the power of fucking 10 nukes?
I doubt it. And does that matter if he can continuously do it? Once again, like I say all the time, like, and this is another thing I'm going to say to all you people who keep putting shit in with characters that manipulate energy. There has to be some kind of cap or blowback, because if you overcharge a battery, it explodes. There has to be expelled or something. Just the whole, it's just going to absorb the sun, and then he's going to throw it up in the air, stroke his cock, and go ha ha, and then proceed to juggle the weapon. That's not the way it works. All right. Once again, I get this whole world breaker Hulk shit, but it's like it's a little ridiculous at some point in time. I'm sorry. That's just me.
I feel like, yeah, I do agree with you. I feel like his power has to have a cap at some point. You know what I mean? There has to be a certain level of energy. It gets to a point where he's like, he has to expel it at some point in time. This man's a walking fusion reactor.
Say he continuously just dumps the energy into the axe. What if the axe explodes and she's holding it?
And that's another thing. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. Can her axe truly absorb all that energy? You know what I'm saying? I mean, only thing I can think of is but it's not even going to do any damage to him, because if, let's say, he lets off a blast that's the equivalent of, let's say the axe can absorb the power of 10 nukes, and she's unscathed because all the energy went into the axe. She throws the axe back. Let's say, those 10 nukes, he's empty. He's bone dry. He doesn't have, he needs a second to build up energy again, right? Because he just went off 10 nukes. Even if she throws the axe back, or even uses that energy from the axe to go into her Hulk form, like, what is that really gonna do? What is that gonna do to him? You know what I mean? Is she gonna like, they cut off an arm or something like that? Because then you have to ask, when it comes to the durability, he's at a 6. So, when we have the regenerative, how strong is that regenerative ability? Is he growing back limbs instantly, or she cuts off an arm? He's going to be armless for like 3 days, 2-3 days before it fully grows back. You know what I mean? She chops off his head. That's if it grows back, period. Is it a situation where the arm has to be reconnected for it to heal back up? You know what I'm saying? So,
and then the other thing is too, like I said, the whole microwave thing, because it's like,
the microwave thing.
Some things will bubble, some things will melt, so on and so forth. So, like I said, if he's nuclear, it's like there's nothing that's going to combat that, because like he could. So if he tempers, for example, that's going to affect her motor skills. That's going to affect her. That's going to affect her energy. That's going to affect That's going to affect her vision. That's going to affect her equilibrium. There's too many variables with that in a close quarters fight if he's just continually dumping his energy out.
Yeah, so Dre says that neither of them can grow back limbs. So there's no limb regrowth here. It's cut off, it's cut off. That's it. He does say that the Incendiary does have a cap, and so he's constantly releasing energy as he goes in order to not hit that cap.
That's
So
even worse.
yeah, that's worse. So he's just constantly dumping microwaves and he's constantly dumping radiation. Yeah, the question now we got to ask what I mean, but it does say that they're virtually immortal. They can't grow ill. So does that mean that radiation doesn't affect them? Doesn't mean they're not going to get radiation poisoning.
But growing ill is not the same as getting sick.
That is true. That is very true. So I mean, either way, I'm still not seeing. She got the offense. And she does in a lot of these cases. We end up running into characters that a character wins because the other character doesn't have a defense.
Right.
But
And to me too, that's something that's specifically attacking your cellular structure.
Yeah. Yep.
Like that shit. He's basically going to give her cancer over an extended period of time.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just seeing. I'm like she does definitely have defenses. I'm just not seeing those defenses being strong enough to withstand his heat and abilities. But even then, he also one of his abilities is he can use his heat to create an armor right here. Within the master of all heat abilities, one of them is armor and aura and empowerment. So he can use the heat to empower himself. He used the heat, use his abilities to strengthen his skin, giving him an armor. But then like that microwave manipulation. But the combustion inducement, let's not forget about that combustion inducement too. So I want to know, how does that work? Does he look at it? Does he look at something and it goes boom? Like
Boom,
Fire Force
big,
type shit?
boom, bada boom, big bada boom.
Does he have to like touch something for it to combust or um but yeah, man, I'm just saying, yeah, I Incendiary got this one as well. Incendiary
Yeah.
got this one. It's not
So let me
100% one-sided,
so
but good.
for sake of argument, let's look at it this way. All right, the only way that we know for certain so far that she's beaten him is a close quarters fight, right?
Mm-hmm.
How is she beating him at a distance?
I don't see her being able to. I mean, she has the electricity from her axe. She could absorb whatever energy that she's absorbed from him, become a hulking form, and throw the axe. Um, but I also don't see, like, if his nerve endings are accustomed to fucking being on fire all the time. Um, that electricity ain't gonna do a damn thing to him. He's not even gonna feel it. It's not even gonna tickle. It's not even gonna tickle him.
Well, here's another thing too, and this is a question: if electricity gives off a heat resonance,
Oh shit.
you know, I'm trying to figure out the best way how to say this. If
Yeah,
electricity
electricity
gives
gives
off,
off a level of heat.
yeah, if it gives off a heat signature, because if you have something that gets electric that gets too warm, like he's absorbing that anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Nope, doesn't matter at all. Does not matter at all. Yep. So, nope. Incendiary takes this one. That is another dub in the books for Incendiary. And again, Varus is no fucking slouch. I would not want to. I would not want to run into her in an alleyway. I wouldn't want to run into her at any kind of way, any kind of goddamn way. 800 goddamn pounds, 800 pounds.
That's a
And is
big.
and petite. She's 6'6" at 800 pounds. She's 800 pounds and looks like that. And looks like this.
I'm
800
down.
pounds and look like that. I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm solid. I'm solid on that. But hey, check it out. Are you guys tired of hearing the same old voices on your feeds? do you guys ever just want to tune it out or get some new people? Well, I suggest trying the indie Primetime. The Indie Primetime is a collective group of Black podcasters who cover a wide variety of topics within the nerddom, geekdom, and blurrdom. I'm talking whether you're hardcore into the indie side of everything or you're hardcore into the mainstream side of things. We have everything that you could be looking for, right? I'm talking we are straight all comic books, all community, unfiltered, most definitely unfiltered. You fucking got Triage earlier talking about him absorbing his son and stroking his cock. Like, so yeah, unfiltered. We definitely unfiltered here. But yeah, no, tune in to the Indie Prime Time. But let's take a minute. Let's just see what the Indie Prime Time has to offer you guys. And then we'll be right back with our next battle.
Welcome to the Super Breakdown Podcast, where cosmic tales unfold. Join Power Maximus, Lord Triage, and the Darth Legacy Jason M40 on a journey through heroic realms, where legends are born and destinies entwine. Delve into the cosmic currents, unraveling the mysteries of superheroes, villains, and champions. Embrace the cosmic energy that binds us all, and let your journey begin. This is the Super Breakdown Podcast. Enter the cosmic saga.
What? Yeah. What? Understand I got a lot on my mind, a lot on my chest.
Starting a war with these stars, you won't get far. This is the way you play a game of life or death star. So far removed from the drama, we don't know this harm, but won't hesitate to shed a light like a Patronus charm. With mischief managed, troubles at a disadvantage. Must be something in the water, dip your toe because you know it's warm. Where can you find another show with such a fine cast? And if you try to box them in, they playing Minecraft. And basically to sum it up like you define math, this crew's the best and it figures like a line graph. I'm Mary band like the words I do. Level-headed, you don't have to have absurd IQs. They know you can relate because they're nerds like you. With their help, you'll see the world from a blur's eye view. Yeah. You are now tuned in to Blur's Eye View. And without further ado, we out.
All right, and we're back again. Definitely tune into every single one of us on there. We got something good for y'all every day of the week. So definitely check us out. So on to our second battle here. Second battle is a reckoning. So if anyone, please definitely get these creators into the chat. Please get them into the chat because I need to hear from them. They have their own comics. Unfortunately, we were not privy to reading their comics before before the battle. So please get in here. If you have panels, by all means, send them to us. You can send them to us via our Instagram or our Facebook. But by all means, let's see what your characters can do. Give me a moment. I'm just pulling up the the Facebook here. There really wasn't too much underneath the Facebook, as in comments wise. But we gonna get it rolling. We're gonna get it rolling here. All right. Oh, should just put this dead. All right. So. Oh, thank you. I didn't realize the audio went out there. Run it over one more time. All right, he is at his his tier level is sitting at one single green dot, which means he is an 8A, can cause multiple city blocks of destruction, and going down to his powers, he's sitting at a 6, which strength can lift between 75 to 100 tons plus. A talent is at 3, which is learned, which means he is just a little bit above the average intellect. We're looking at his speed, which is also with 3, superhuman, running up to 700 miles per hour, which is still ridiculous. Duration, not duration. Durability. Thank you. Is sitting at a 6, which means he can withstand poisons, extreme temperatures, and concussive attacks. But that also means he also has a dense skin, which can repel weapons, and also is hard to permanently injure. With a 5 sitting at with his agility, which means he is hypersonic, able to dodge bullets at point blank range. He also has a 4 for his energy projection, which means medium. He has medium range in duration, but is a single form of energy. With a 6 on his fight ability, which puts him at a master of several forms of combat. All right, so this man is no slouch. He's destroying multiple city blocks. He's lifting 100 plus tons. So he's a problem. I don't know. I'm getting Toph mixed with Luke Cage.
You said Toph mixed with Luke Cage.
Mhm.
I guess we can say Toph.
There's somebody else I was thinking of. I just can't remember their name. Who are you thinking of?
I was thinking more Samuel Sullivan or Gara.
I think Samuel Sullivan is a little bit closer. But yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there. We're looking at 36, 6'3", 270. All right, he has no equipment. powers, as we can see up there, is Terrokinesis, Earth Mimicry, and Exoskeleton. All right. Let's move on over to Ghostwing, who is sitting at 3 light green dots, which puts him in the same tier. Yes, puts him in the same tier. But he is an 8C, small to large building destruction. City blocks compared to building destruction. That's a big difference in tier right there. So, but we shall see. This art's pretty dope too. All white and black. With the mask covering his eyes. That's pretty lit. He is the hero, so that gives us a bit of information on like kind of like where his mental is. All right, what he's the way he can, where he works, the way he moves. Now this battle specifically is also a random encounter. It's in Central City, right? Same thing, no risk and no outside help. So let's move on down to his power stats. Run through these real quick. My brother is sitting at a 4, which means he can lift 800 pounds to 25 tons. His intelligence is at a 5, which means he's a genius. Speed level moving at a 3. Superhuman, moving at 700 miles per hour. Durability sitting at a 4. Oof. Okay. All right. Magnitude has him definitely beat on the durability as well. Agility sitting at a 5. They're both dodging bullets at point blank range. Energy projection is at a 5 as well, which means he has long range in duration, but still a single form of energy. And then with a fight ability of 6, several forms of combat. So they're not too far. They're not too far apart. But definitely that strength is a problem.
I mean, on paper, yes, I'd say, but skill set wise, they're completely different ends of the spectrum.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But again, we didn't even get into his powers and abilities. His equipment, he running with tomahawks, and then his powers, all we have here is ghost physiology. So I wonder, ghost physiology. Let's talk about that real quick. Ghost physiology, does that mean he can just go intangible, or does he have like multiple different powers of a ghost? Like it says, go ahead.
I'm about to say, like, does that mean like you said, does he become intangible? Does he walk through walls? Does he communicate with the dead? Can he see the dead? Like, does that allow him to pierce the veil and see what happens if someone's about to die? Like, that's not really specific enough.
Yeah, I would definitely need to know a little bit more about that. If we can, by all means, please get Jamal into the comics if we can, to see if we can figure this out. Shout out to Midnight Comics as well for checking us out. And definitely shout out to everyone who is watching us on Instagram right now. Yeah, that I also forgot to say we are currently live on Instagram for the first time. We are live on Instagram. But yeah, shout out. That's what I was thinking. Midnight Comics. That's what I was thinking as well. Danny Phantom, but I don't know, because Danny Phantom put in work. That man had hands. He wasn't. He wasn't just. He couldn't just go intangible or walk through walls. He can disappear and fly. He's much more unique than the other guys. My bad. Sorry, I had to. I couldn't help it. That intro song to Danny Phantom it's fire. It's fire. I can't help it.
Listen, there are no stones being thrown. I'm simply stating that I need a little bit more reference, because even then, I'm having a hard time believing he's going to be able to hold his own.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I feel like it's going to end up, if that does mean that he can go intangible, then I also just feel like it's going to be a stalemate, because he's just intangible and all the attacks are just going through him.
Well, no. So I would say so. My thing with that is one of three things. One, if we're talking ghost shit, can he possess him?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't think so because it says physiology. It doesn't say necessarily powers. I would put that at a power instead of physiology. All right. So let's we got the creator in the comments. So let's ask, brother man, when it comes to ghost physiology, what does that exactly mean for the character? Does it mean that he just has the physical aspects of a ghost, which means he can intangibility, which allows him to walk through walls and things to pass through him, or is it Danny Phantom style where it's not just physiology? He can walk through walls, he can disappear, he can fly.
Is that
Or
you
even
think
then,
that's
like,
one of the other guy?
can't get over it. Can't get over it. But I also want to know, like, but is it like overall ghost powers and abilities too? Can he possess people? Is he throwing like ectoblast and stuff like that? What is it about him that is ghost when it comes to him? By all means, drop it in the comments. Um, I like the character though. I like the idea, and when you bring it up here, he's 24 years old, 5'10", 185, Cherokee Native American. Um, I'm pretty sure he doing work with those tomahawks, especially with his fight sitting at a 6, having multiple forms of martial arts. I'm pretty sure those damn tomahawks are a problem. Pretty sure those tomahawks are a damn problem. Yeah. So he says he's more of the latter, and yes. So yeah, he's Danny Phantom style. Because if you Danny Phantom style, then we can kind of probably use Danny Phantom as a base when it comes to this battle. Because again, it's only given so much when it comes to ghost physiology. Because that will pose a problem to magnitude. Because if it's just going intangible and flying, I feel like it would end up pulling a stalemate against somebody like magnitude. Or I mean, I don't know, intangibility. He can go intangible, walk right up to magnitude. Oh, never mind. He's a hero. He wouldn't walk up to magnitude, put his hand in his chest, and then become unintangible.
I mean, if he knows it ain't gonna kill him,
I mean, yeah, if he knows it's not gonna kill him, yeah.
he just disrupts his heartbeat for a minute. He might, but it's also one of the things like, can he get close enough to do that?
I mean, he's intangible. He can't be touched. I don't see
But
anything stopping him.
that's not the same though. So it's like we're also assuming that if he's intangible, does that mean he's weightless? Is he floating? Is he flying? Because if he's completely disconnected from the earth, 'cause remember, Toph had like the seismic sensing, so the second you touched the ground, she felt where you were. So if he feels footsteps approaching him and he turns around, doesn't necessarily see somebody, but he still feels the steps coming. So say like all he has to do is harden the ground around the footsteps. Now is he stuck in place? Like how does that work? Now, granted, if he's intangible, he can just step right out of them.
Yeah.
But now he knows he's there, so now he's on defense.
Yeah. So what it sounds like he said that he's more so it runs like Danny Phantom. So he has all the usual ghost like abilities. And again, unfortunately, we weren't privy to this character's story beforehand. So by all means, hey, if if you have panels available, you can definitely head over to the group, the Indie Versus group, and find go underneath the battle, and you can drop images of your panels in there to show us that these are the things that he can and cannot do. Because with these battles, if it's not if it didn't happen in the pages of their comic and it's not on the card, then it's not we can't use it as we can't even we can't really bring that into the fight, because we got to be able to prove the character's abilities and their feats. So if you by all means drop those down there, and we'll take a look and be able to add them into the battle. Dre says telekinesis allows one to mold and shape and control heavy metals within the bloodstream of a person. Yeah, but now here's my question. In the characters in his book, and I believe we're also going off Lloyd and Indie versus Breakdown. If you guys in the comment, please correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure that we're also going off of first issues when it comes to the Reckoning characters. We're going off first issues, and we're running off of where those characters were in the first issues. If this character just got his powers and is already bending metal, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty overpowered. Yeah, so that is correct. Whatever is released. So whatever you currently have released, you can, by all means, you can drop it underneath in those comments, and we'll most definitely bring that in, because then there is actual
that the other thing is too is I'm thinking like when he says ghost powers, I'm thinking more Phantom Girl. So it's like Phantom Girl wasn't always intangible; it became solid at some point in time, right? So if this dude can manipulate all aspects of the earth, that's avalanches, that's sinkholes, that's earthquakes. So it's like even like when Gara fought Kimimaru, like he trapped him in sand and then buried him. What was it, 300 meters below the earth? So it's like, if that's the case, like if he can do shit, if he's doing shit on that level where he's manipulating every drop of dirt. And then it's like, what is he doing to get to his exoskeleton?
That is also true, and that's why I think the intangibility will come in. That tangibility, he's phasing through anything. Now the question is it? Never mind. I mean, the characters that have those kind of abilities. Let me bring that up. Let's see here. Let's see. If I remember correctly, he needed assistance from a machine to take out a city. So not quite Gara level. So magnitude wise, he's not he's not on that level necessarily. That's okay. But even then, the ability to manipulate Earth in general is a pretty broken ability, because we're surrounded by Earth. So I would say, I don't know. Like I gotta see a little bit more of what the character can and cannot do, because that would be, because I don't think the tomahawks are gonna be able to get through his exoskeleton at all.
Even then, he's only got two, right?
Yeah.
So what are the tomahawks made of?
Oh yeah, that's in the what exactly are tomahawks made of as well? Because I mean that's a possibility that the tomahawks, depending on the alloy that they're made out of, they may be able to make it through his exoskeleton. So I don't know. It's pretty interesting. I mean, I'm still kind of leaning. Yeah, I'm still kind of leaning towards him being a stronger version of Toph as well. Indie Breakdown. So man, I don't know. I really feel like this is So let's see here. When it comes to his power stats, if we were to go solely off his power stats, then let me see. Let me bring him up right here again. Boom. Magnitude has him on strength. Magnitude has him on durability. Magnitude, nope. He has magnitude on intelligence though. He also has magnitude on energy projection. And that's it. The rest of that. So that's like what? So let's see. He has him on 1. Yeah, so it looks like Ghostwing only has him on the intelligence and the energy projection. Looking at solely stats wise, like on paper, like you said earlier, on paper, it looks like magnitude is taking it. So it comes to a question: is how does Ghostwing use his abilities? You know what I mean? Because he does have the intelligence edge on, pretty much on him. So the question then becomes: does he use that intelligence, and in what way does he end up using those powers and abilities? Now looking, taking a look through the comic book, I'm not really getting a full sense of his powers and abilities. I see him. He's very well skilled with his tomahawks. But when it comes to that ghost physiology, and it also looks like he works in a team. So solo dolo, I don't know. Because I want to make sure. I'm giving these characters a fair shake in these battles. But I also feel like Magnitude just has them on so many different things. Aside from that, just their tier level in general. The tier level is there's a massive gap between their tier levels. One's on city level and one's on building level. Let's see. The tomahawk is a gift from the mistress of the spirit world. All right. So does that grant them? Does that grant them magical abilities? Does that grant them are they enchanted in somehow? What what makes the tomahawk special besides being let's see, his ghost powers are thought activated, and yeah. All
Also,
right.
he consciously do it.
What happened?
So he has to consciously do it.
Yeah, so yeah, he has to be able to be like, intangible. Fly. All the other Danny Phantom ghost like abilities. I don't know, man. Even with all that, I'm still seeing Magnitude taking this. He just has so much more of an edge against him. Even if we were to look at, their their little bit of their background in the bios here, we're looking at he has the age on him, he has height on him, which means he also has reach on him. He also has the weight over him as well. What's his speed at? Oh, they're matching speed. So they're both moving up to 700 miles per hour. Both their agility is sitting at a 5, right? Right. So yeah, they're both hypersonic, dodging bullets at point blank range. I just feel like it's gonna end up coming down to yes, enchanted and linked to his ghost-like abilities. So is he a ghost-like, or is it the axes that give him the ability to go ghost? Sorry for all Phantom references.
Nah, from what I'm getting is that he can go ghost, and the axes are an extension of as well. But my whole thing is like if he has to subconsciously do that, that means he has to focus on it. And if he has to focus, that means his stamina levels are also tied to his abilities. So if he has to consciously be aware of what's going on, of the sand and everything passing through him, and just that, for example, if he creates a massive sandstorm and then turns the sand into jagged shards that are whipping around constantly, this is going to come down to creativity and stamina. Because
I
if
100% agree. Yep.
or if he makes the ground like super dense and then compresses it inside of him, then like if when he goes to become tangible again, or if he doesn't become intangible, like there's so many different variables on how he could do this.
So, wait, go ahead.
Like so he would have to be intangible this whole fight.
Yes, that's exactly what I was getting at. I think Magnitude would I think, because remember, so these battles are won and lost off of death or KO, and under KO, it's being unable to continue the battle.
Right. So like, all right, he wills the tomahawk. So is this like the tomahawk passes through him and like separates his soul from his body, and now he's sitting there
That
having a
would be
conversation
crazy.
with him, like some Doctor Strange type shit?
That would be crazy. Where have we seen that before? As a blade, if it cuts you, it separates you from your soul from your body. It doesn't cut you. It doesn't cut you. It cuts your soul. What weapon is that? The Tenseiga?
Sure. Tenseiga.
Yeah, I thought so. All right, cool. Yeah. All right, cool. I knew it. As you're talking, I'm like, what weapon is that? That would be sick if the tomahawks had the ability to separate someone's soul from their body, and then instead of you physically attacking their body, you're attacking their soul. That would be pretty fucking sick. Spiff, what's up? So as a quick update, last battle for Nexus was Dre versus Dre, Incendiary versus Varus. It was an interesting battle, but in the end, Incendiary ended up coming out on top and taking the win. As of right now, we're looking at Magnitude versus Ghostwing. And to be honest, it looks like Magnitude is I mean, are we in agreement on this?
Ghostwing, the Negro Daredevil.
He's not Negro. He's Native American.
Oh, excuse me, the indigenous Daredevil.
It's wait, what the fuck? I wasn't prepared. I was not prepared for that. But no, I like the character. I feel like we need. I need a little bit more from him. I need a little bit more from this character, because I feel like this character has a lot of potential, a lot of damn potential, and it can do a lot of things, especially within when it comes to ghost-like abilities.
I want them to explain a little bit more about how he fits into the tier he does, because I don't understand with his skill set how he's bringing down a building.
I'm pretty sure that's with his strength, based off power stat.
But even then, like, wouldn't he have to be physically? Wouldn't he have to be not? Excuse me. So he'd have to be tangible to use his strength, right?
Oh well, yeah. He's not always intangible,
right?
That's just like it's. I'm here. So my problem here is I'm seeing a lot of defense with this character, and not a lot of offense with him. So it's like, we can see Magnitude not being able to do damage to him, but then I'm also not seeing how he could do damage to Magnitude. So I think I'm along the same line as you are. I think Magnitude would have it to the point where he'd have to stay intangible in order to not get hit, but also while intangible, it's a double-edged sword, because now you can't hit either. So essentially, I end up making him unable to battle. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm getting at with it. So I'm thinking like in a normal situation, Ghostwing is able to take down a building, right? Small to large building. But I feel like in a situation where you have somebody like Magnitude who can literally control the earth around you, has an exoskeleton, and I feel like Magnitude can keep him more so on guard long enough. He can keep him at bay, because then he's gonna have to go intangible in order to not get hit by a rock. Even if he doesn't go intangible, and he's able to, Magnitude throwing rocks at him. Yeah, he's able to slice through the rocks with with his tomahawks, Right, but now, all right, you close that gap. How is Ghostwing doing damage? You know what I'm saying? How is he doing damage? Because he has, um, so he says that he can channel the ability of any spirit, but again, how is that doing damage? So that's based off of if there's like a elemental spirit around, he then can use that elemental spirit's power or something
He
like
can
that.
change what?
He can channel the abilities of any spirit. I mean, does
So
that
what?
mean
Yeah, what does that mean? So that means if there's like a rogue Kryptonian in the area who escaped the Phantom Zone, he can channel that Kryptonian's abilities. Now he has Kryptonian abilities. Like, what does that mean?
or is he the same thing when it comes to magnitude? Magnitude spirit. It doesn't have to be like dead spirit, or can it just be somebody's soul that's just chilling? Somebody can you just you know what I mean? Like channel that person's soul that he's fighting, or does it mean like somebody that's dead, passed on, or it's an entity from on a different plane of existence? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just feel like there's again, I'm seeing a lot of damn defense, a lot of defense. Um, and he definitely has some offense, but not a strong enough offense to take magnitude down, especially to break through that exoskeleton. I'm not seeing him being able to do damage and take the win. But I am able to see magnitude keeping him on the back foot long enough to essentially keep him out of the battle. So I mean, if he can't damage him, I'm gonna have to give it to magnitude on this one.
Yep.
Yeah. Again, like I see so much potential with the character. The character has a great foundation and a great base, and I feel like he can go a lot of places.
Definitely.
I just feel like the ghost physiology needs to be expounded upon a little bit more. At least where it is on the card. Not saying it's not like expanded upon in the story, but at least in the card itself, maybe it needs to be expounded upon a little bit more in that because then that gives us more to work with as well. Um, there, I just need, yeah, we just need more. So yeah, with this one, I got to give it to magnitude. I feel like magnitude really rocked this one. You see what I did there?
Yes, I did.
See what I did there? And it's just unfortunate in this situation, Ghostwing, he didn't have a ghost of a chance.
I ain't scared of no ghost.
Yeah, unfortunately, but I really feel like he can go places. I really feel like this character has a lot of potential to be a for real serious problem.
You know what would be really cool?
Go ahead.
Is if he could summon native spirits.
Oh, wow. Guess he couldn't wing it. Jesus.
Or about to say, or if he could summon like fallen indigenous warriors.
Dude, that would be that would be really dope. That would be really dope.
Like he slams the blades of his tomahawks together. Next thing you know, there's a whole army of Apache behind him.
Oh, that would be sick. Because it's a gift from the spirit world. So that would be that would be perfect. It allows him to summon the powers and abilities of like you said, the abilities of the dead, but not just dead people that are nearby. But like he can actually summon like ancient tribal chiefs, or he can summon, like you said, 100 Apache warriors, and then able to channel the power and strength of 100 Apache warriors into him. So that means the knowledge, that means the fighting ability, I mean, stuff like that. And again, 100%, like, in a later issue, that would be dope. And again, like growing the growth of that character would be really, 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 really sick. Indy says, yo, a team up between Ghostwing and Jupiter Man would be crazy since Jupiter Man can access the spirit world. That would be, yeah. Jupiter Man can open up that portal, allowing all these, all these other spirits into the physical plane, which Ghostwing can then channel their powers and abilities through. Again, see, potential, so much potential. Like this man's gonna be a real goddamn problem. Because again, he's channeling, even if he's channeling like ancients, the thoughts and the skills of the ancients, that's making him a problem. Not to mention, hell, if there's a dead Kryptonian nearby, there's a dead Kryptonian nearby, it's over. But no, I love this. I think that's what I enjoy about this a lot is that we do this so it helps everyone, not just you guys, but also us as writers and creators as well. So we go into these battles, because a lot of times, a lot of us, we go into these battles like, yeah, my character got this, but we end up getting humbled in the end. Not saying you're not already humbled, but we end up getting like, well, damn, all right, but this is to see where your character may be lacking at and how you can in fact strengthen your character, make him better later on down the line in later issues, by learning. It's like, all right, well, this match didn't go my way because of XYZ, so on and so forth. I just feel like this is a perfect opportunity, a learning opportunity as well to do great things with this character later on in his comic. And I'm highly interested in seeing where he goes as well. And Magnitude, I think Magnitude is a problem. I feel like he, like, if I was to compare him to mainstream and his powers, his levels, and how he would stand off in mainstream comics, I'd say he's going toe to toe with Luke Cage.
And
it'll be interesting.
I would agree with that.
No, what do you think?
I would agree with that.
Oh, you would agree with that, yeah. You know what I mean? When it comes to Ghostwing, if I was to do that with Ghostwing, who would you say, like, in mainstream? Who would you say?
See, with him, I'm not sure because, like I said, close quarters, we don't know how he is. Because, like, I would say, like, Daredevil, Dick Grayson, Spider-Man, Batman. But we've already seen that certain people have held back for years, or either that or, like, I might not kill you, but these hospital bills are gonna make you wish you were dead type shit. Like, I don't want to put it in a stick fight with Nightwing, and then Nightwing fuck around and dislocate his knees.
Well, remember his fight is 10 out of 6, so he has several forms of combat under his belt. So those tomahawks I'm gonna say he's deadly with those tomahawks. With that level of training, I'm gonna say he's pretty deadly with them. So, I don't know, man. Yeah, this is awesome. This was really awesome. I actually really enjoyed this one. I feel like it's a learning experience for a lot of us. But yeah, so if I was to give any advice, I would say the biggest thing is expand upon Ghost physiology. And then we always talk about character personality. Let it be known what your character's personality is, because that determines how they're going to react in a fight. We're going off the fact that he's a hero, so he's not going to aim to kill this guy. While the other hand, Magnitude is a villain, so he's probably not going to really care what happens or if innocents get hurt in the process. So yeah, definitely with all that, but I like the character. I'm loving the character. But with that being said, so wrapping on up here, first match, we got Incendiary versus Varus. Incendiary takes the dub again. Apparently Incendiary has been taking all the any battle he's gone into. Apparently, Incendiary is taking a dub with that. And then going into the Reckoning battle, Magnitude takes the dub on this. Man, this was a great battle. We got a lot more for you guys. So tune in again. We try to do them on Saturdays. Today was a special day because we had to move some things around. But definitely tune in on the weekends. We love doing these. These are pretty damn fun. And then also on Sundays, like today, tune in at 7:00 Eastern Standard Time for our show, The Super Breakdown, where we break down all your favorite mainstream comic books, heroes, and everything within pop culture. So if you honestly, I say stay right here. Don't go nowhere. I say stay right there. Don't go nowhere, because we're going to be right back with the Super Breakdown at 7:00. But until then, please enjoy the Indie Breakdown with their what if the Avengers were indie. So that's going to be pretty interesting. So until next time, thank you guys for tuning in, joining us, and helping us, what does Lloyd say? Reestablish power scaling within comic books. Along those lines, I will learn the actual phrase soon. I swear, I promise. But again, it was awesome talking to you guys. Tune in, stay right here, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in a few minutes with the Super Breakdown.
Welcome to the Super Breakdown Podcast, where cosmic tales unfold. Join Power Maximus, Lord Triage, and the Darth Legacy Jason M40 on a journey through heroic realms where legends are born and destinies entwine. Delve into the cosmic currents, unraveling the mysteries of superheroes, villains, and champions. Embrace the cosmic energy that binds us all, and let your journey begin. This is the Super Breakdown Podcast. Enter the cosmic saga.
What? Yeah. What? Understand I got a lot on my mind, a lot on my chest.
Starting a war with these stars, you won't get far. This is the way you play a game of life or death star. So far removed from the drama, we don't notice harm, but won't hesitate to shed a light like a Patronus charm. With mischief managed, troubles at a disadvantage. Must be something in the water, dip your toe because you know it's warm. Where can you find another show with such a fine cast? And if you try to box them in, they playing Minecraft. And basically to sum it up like you define now, this crew's the best and it figures like a line graph. I'm Mary band like the words I do. Level-headed, you don't have to have absurd IQs. They know you can't relate because they're nerds like you. With their help, you'll see the world from a blur's eye view. Yeah. You are now tuned in to Blur's Eye View. And without further ado, we out.
Yeah, what? Understand I got a lot on my mind, a lot on my chest.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Lloyd.
And I'm Tasha.
With Midnight Comics. And, of course, welcome back to Indie Breakdown, the show where we break down your favorite indie comic book characters, power stats, and abilities, and get them ready for an indie versus matchup. We got something special this time.
Is that what this is?
Huh?
Okay, funny. Is that what this is?
I mean, it's a little combo situation, right? We did What If Wednesdays. If you want to dive into that really quick, what we used to do for that specifically, and then I'll jump in and talk about what
we're trying to get back to doing
today. Yeah, we're just trying to get back to doing.
Okay. Immediately, the children started yelling.
Oh.
All right, so I guess you said welcome back to Indie Breakdown, but also welcome back to What If Wednesdays, where we do different what if scenarios on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Sometimes with our characters and our stories, and sometimes with completely other random things, but always comic related.
Yes.
For now.
So think of this almost kind of a soft relaunch of that, because this will go up on a Wednesday for sure. But the reason why it's
I guess we also usually did it live. We might start doing that again. We'll see.
Yeah. So with this, what we're gonna do, and the reason why it's connected to Indie Breakdown today is because we are doing a different type of what if. What if the Avengers were indie? And what we're gonna do to limit ourselves is to only utilize the database that we have at indiebreakdown.com. So if you haven't been on there, definitely check it out. You can check out all the previous breakdowns, all the previous interviews, and of course, what we'll be referencing today, the database. So essentially, the Avengers that we're selecting, not the MCU versions, not the original.
Basically, we're making the indie Avengers.
They were creating the indie Avengers
Indie Breakdown database.
Original version. So we're talking Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Ant-Man, Wasp. Right? In case some of you guys didn't know, somehow Captain America was not an original Avenger. It irks my dad. Fun note, it irks my dad so much. The name of the movie, The First Avenger, he's like, he wasn't the first Avenger. He goes on a whole tangent.
The movie is called The First Avenger because he's the oldest.
Right.
He was the first one to be alive, not the first to join the Avengers.
But wouldn't that be Thor?
That's the logic. He was an Avenger before the Avengers were cool.
Oh, for sure.
Because he avenged in the war.
Of course.
There's logic.
Sure. We'll allow it. So, how we're going to set this up, essentially, we're going to go character by character. We did not share what characters each of us was using, so we'll get to hear from each other one at a time who we selected and hear each other's reasoning. And we'll pull them up on the screen and talk about the characters and stuff like that accordingly. So, we're going to start off with Iron Man. Did you want to go first, or would you like me to go first?
You can go first. It'll probably take me longer to pull the character up.
Okay. So, for Iron Man, I was stuck. I had two potential characters. There was a third one.
I thought you said you were going to use...
Let me get there. There was three characters that could have potentially been used. The third one,
actually, so there are actually several characters in the database that would work for Iron Man. More than I thought we had.
One of the characters, I was like, well, maybe Mech. And I was like, Mech doesn't really. I don't know, right? There was Do-Gooder. Do-Gooder looks like Iron Man for sure, right? But
Do-Gooder is on the
Reckoning side.
Reckoning, gotcha.
Yeah. But I went with, shameless plug, the one and only Taharka King. Why is it so dark? The screen is dark.
It is. It's very dark.
Yeah. Okay. That's weird, but we're going to have to rock that with
more menacing, I guess.
I guess so. So, Taharka is a character from Midnight Comics. Got to throw that plug in. But much like Tony Stark, right? He has his own company, right? But there's a little mix. You throw in some Black Panther aspects, stuff like that. They essentially got their own autonomous kind of situation, but on U.S. soil.
Yes.
But yeah, he has what's called Pharaoh Industries, which stands for Philanthropic Heritage, Ancestry, Research, and Optimal Health. And yeah, like obviously he's making not only things that will benefit all of the African diaspora, but also, you know, they also have some crazy advancements within the realm of technology. There we go. He does have a nanotech suit. So again, all things that I mentioned just now. Ridiculous amount of money, has his own company, has a nanotech suit. You can't go wrong. Got Scarab drones again. We talked about the nanotech suit to make his battle suit and stuff like that. Can fire blast the whole nine. Who else but Taharka for the role of Iron Man in this case? We'll hear from Tasha. Let's see. So
I already knew you were going to pick Taharka, so I definitely wasn't.
that's fair. That's fair.
Try not to cross over. That one I already knew you were doing. And
Okay.
you know, I did look at Do Gooder after I'd already picked and decided not to switch.
Okay.
So, yeah. I actually, it's a bunch of things coming up as I'm trying to share my screen. I actually decided to choose Braven
For Iron Man.
for Iron Man.
Talk to me.
Why is it? There we go. I'm going to say 2 reasons. Of course, you have, you know, he's got the suit, he's got tech and stuff like that. The suit does things like it has pistols in it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Gives me an interesting kind of Iron Man Black Panther mix. Black Panther's not on this. So, you know, we're going to put him on the team low key.
Okay. Okay.
Right. So he's got the suit, his strike suit. I feel like that stands for something
Mm-hmm.
because there's periods there. But he's got the suit, he's got his weapons, he's got sniff sense trackers.
Mm-hmm.
And I can only assume all these things are built into his suit. And I really like his design. His suit looks really cool. And so, yeah, that was, yeah. He's tech savvy. Okay. He's acrobatic, which Tony is not, but you know.
No, well, yeah. That's fair.
So, yeah.
Okay, I dig it. Okay, so we're gonna move forward. And anybody that's watching this stuff like that, let us know who you think out of the ones that we picked do you think fits Iron Man more. But then also review the database, right? Check out the database and let us know who you would pick to be Iron Man. Now, next up, we have the Hulk. Now, this one I toyed with. If you guys watched the matchup with the Verdant Mother, I was talking with our friend Ben about this one earlier today, actually. He was like, "Really? Okay." And I explained my reasoning. He was like, "Okay, I could understand that." So, okay, cool, bet. So, you know, the Hulk is a monster, right? Nobody exactly knows, you know, likes this guy. Nobody knows what he's up to, who the person. Well, they do know who the person is behind it, but it's just like, we don't want to be in the same room as this guy. He looks menacing. He's gonna tear some stuff up. There's gonna be casualties, which means let's just go ahead and just get straight to the point. I got my boy, the Raven Mocker, on here. Okay. You know, Hulk is a rage monster. Well, Raven Mocker kind of can induce various emotions and stuff like that. Again, he is a, you know, to continue to try to play on a word right here. He's kind of a hulking monster, if you would, right? Definitely ominous. He kind of he's 8 feet tall, so he's definitely standing over you. We don't have a weight on here or anything like that. But extremely powerful.
I mean, it fluctuates.
Say again.
That's what I mean. It fluctuates because his weight would be different when he's in human form.
Right, exactly. Right. And then there's that transformation aspect of it. So yeah. Healing factor, just like he does, right? The difference is he's got some invisibility, some shape shifting in a sense, because he could take the form of a regular Raven and all that. But anyway, he is definitely could be a misunderstood monster, if you would. I won't belabor a point, but I have chosen Walker here for our character. So I am curious to know.
The way you said that, I thought you were going with Verdant Mother or something.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, I said, I'm not really seeing a lot of Hulk here. So, yeah, we'll just go with Damon.
Really?
Because, he has increased strength. And I don't recall if he put it on there or not. I don't know if it increases each time something happens or not. But it's increased strength. And right now he can top buildings. The Hulk is stronger than that, but I'm sure.
Okay.
I also have another reason for using him.
Okay.
Kind of, but I won't get into that.
No, talk to us. Talk to us. Why?
No, I'm not getting into that because it pertains to the Justice League video.
Oh, okay, got you. Okay, in case you guys didn't know, they're not necessarily spoilers for the next episode, but right, we want to do this with several pretty popular teams, right? So yes, as Tasha said, on the next one, we will be discussing the Justice League. So original Justice League on that one, more of that towards the end of the video. But okay, so we've got Damon and Ravenmocker as the contenders for Hulk. Okay, I could dig this. Okay, so this one was easy. Like, there wasn't even a second thought for me when it came to who to select for this character. We're talking about Thor. Okay, and I feel like, we may have picked the same thing here. Maybe. You're talking about the God of Thunder himself, right? So it only makes sense that we pick somebody that has, very, very similar abilities. The one and only Jupiter Man.
Oh, okay, thank God.
You can't go wrong, right? He's got lightning abilities. He is a god, right? The difference is, instead of Norse mythology, he's pulled from Roman mythology. So really, that's it. But he's pretty stacked, right? In regards to abilities, again, sun ability, storm ability, speed manipulation, spiritual invincibility, all sorts of things. Immensely powerful and definitely probably the strongest character on this team, as Thor was with the original team as well. Again, Hulk wasn't as all powerful as he is now in comparison, right? So Thor was definitely the heaviest hitter on that team, I dare say. But yeah, so that's who I've got. I've got Jupiter Man on that one. Honestly, again, there wasn't even a second thought. The moment was just like, oh, Thor, Jupiter Man. Like, I knew Jupiter Man before I knew, Jupiter Man and Taharka before anybody else.
The second you brought that up.
So that's who I got. I'm curious to know who you got.
So actually, speaking of Verdant Mother,
I
picked the Verdant Mother.
Wow. Okay. Talk to us about that one bit.
So,
okay.
I'm trying to be more creative here.
Mm-hmm.
Because some of these aren't so easy, and obviously you went with Jupiter Man. That was the obvious answer, right?
Low hanging fruit, yeah.
Low hanging fruit. But we have to think Thor, of course, is the god of thunder, but he also has some control over like the air and wind and what you would consider elements at times.
Mm-hmm.
The Verdant Mother has control over the elements as far as nature. So we say, why not? She can channel nature. She can manipulate nature. She has elemental immunity, atomic beast transformation. She can turn invisible. She's essentially a goddess of nature.
Okay.
So we just swap out the god for a goddess, and instead of the god of thunder, we'll have the goddess of nature.
Okay, I can dig this. Okay.
Does it sound like this?
I wasn't expecting that one. I wasn't expecting that one at all. Okay.
I had her somewhere else too at first, and then I put her there. Said I had her somewhere else too at first, but then I swapped her over there.
Okay. So here's where we got a little tricky here. We're going Ant.
I feel like we both picked the low-hanging fruit on this.
I don't think I think we both ended up picking this character somewhere, or I think we both ended up picking the character you're referencing, but in different spots. Okay.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So the character that I have in the spot of Ant-Man is Rhino Beetle. Yeah.
I moved him. I moved him. He was my Ant-Man. And I said, no.
Yeah.
I was actually looking for someone specific, and I stumbled across Rhino Beetle because I forgot he was there. And I was like, oh, actually, that's a good Ant-Man. And I said, no.
Yeah. And
I was like, I know who I'm looking for is in this database. I'm going to find them. And then I found them.
And then you found them. I feel like who you're about
exactly
to say.
Who I'm talking about.
I picked for Wasp, but okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, everybody that's watching, you see it on the screen. He's instead of a ant, right? He's got the physiology of a beetle, a rhino beetle. Not much else to say there, right? No, he doesn't control them or anything like that. But again, great standing from the choices that we have. But I do want to know, Tasha. Maybe I do know already. Who?
Well, if you know, pull it up because for some reason I can't find it again. Never mind, I found him.
Oh, okay.
All right, so my pick. That is not the share button.
Bless your heart.
Shut up. I picked Super Termite.
Super Termite, okay. Super Termite.
Which is a man turned termite.
Mm-hmm.
And can transform and control termites. So Ant-Man is Termite Man.
Oh, he can control termites?
I do believe he said that. Or
yeah, termite communication. Yeah.
I remember him saying that before. So,
yeah.
It was literally it's like he is what Jupiter Man was to Thor. It's like it's just different.
Dang, you know what?
Fuck.
I can't even argue with that. That's the better one. I'll put Rhino. I would, if I were to combine our teams, the two that I know for sure is I would just swap Rhino Beetle and Super Termite. I would put Super Termite with it as Ant-Man. That's a good one. That's a good one. And honestly, we don't even need to move away because as stated,
that's true because that's who you
as
picked
stated,
for.
my Wasp was going to be Super Termite. That's but again, now I should have looked at the powers again. But yeah, looking at that, that's such an obvious freaking choice for Ant-Man. But now I'm kind of like I should have looked again and see who Wasp could be, but I'll just stick to my guns with what I got. I have Rhino Beetle.
You got what you got, and I had what you didn't get. So
yeah. So who do you have for Wasp?
So I used Wasp as my Midnight Comics quota because we had a quota of at least using one of our characters, or at least trying to use one of our characters.
Oh my God!
I couldn't think of anyone else. I just went with another themed character.
Yo, that's a good one. That's a good one. Dang. Now, okay.
Initially, I wasn't like, I need to meet my Midnight Comics quota. Let me pick Blue Morpho. I was legitimately looking around like, I can't think of a Wasp. And then I looked at Blue Morpho and I said, you know what?
That's it.
She's a Wasp.
It's
a type of butterfly. Now, she doesn't have any powers. Neither does Wasp. Neither does Janet, technically. They have the stuff. But she is trained. She has gear. And she's a butterfly instead of a wasp. So there you go.
Okay, I like this team.
The Wasp doesn't even really make sense for her skill set, but
so to not have an overwhelmingly Midnight Comics team, I would swap out who would I swap out?
You only have two characters.
No, I'm saying if I were to merge our teams as our because like right now I'm like Super Termite is Ant-Man, Blue Morpho is Wasp. I'm like, and Jupiter Man was just too perfect for Thor, in my opinion.
Excuse me. Yes.
I'm debating, do we get rid of Taharka?
Let's see,
but get rid of Ravenmocker?
We would probably have to get rid of Taharka only because I feel like Damon was just a toss-in for me.
Okay.
And Ravenmocker works 10 times better. I just could not find a Hulk.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? Screw it. It's just gonna be Midnight Comics all day. Yeah, no, screw it. Oh, well. He has the company. He has everything. I can't. And Ravenmocker was too good of a host. So, do we agree then on the following team? Hypothetically, and hopefully, any artist that is watching this that wants to do something fun here, I would love to do an original Avengers cover with these characters. That joint would be fire. All right. Anyway, I think Taharka, like we said in the beginning. Hold on. There we go. Taharka, like we said in the beginning. Ravenmocker. as the Taharka as Iron Man, Ravenmacher as Hulk. We have Jupiter Man. Oh man, I'm typing on the wrong keyboard. Yuck, 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 yuck. We've got Jupiter Man as the God of Thunder himself. Super Termite as Ant-Man, and the
see, it evens out almost. It's only 5. It's only 3 Midnight Comics characters. I don't care.
So no, I don't care either. That's perfect. There we go. There we go. This is the team.
I feel like it's the only time this is going to happen too.
Yeah, that's the team. That's the team. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. So here's what we're gonna do. Listen, please. I am gonna be reaching out to some of these artists because that would be a fire cover. But yeah. So these aren't going to be too terribly long. These are fun. I mean, it's almost 30 minutes. All right. So here's the gameplay. Right.
A lot better when they're playing ahead.
Yeah. Right. We just kind of did this off the jump. So we hope you guys enjoyed this. We want to know who your teams would be. Your original Avengers team. Drop it down below. Tell us the reasoning if you so dare. But yeah, let us know down below who you would pick. And use the database, right? And again, very limited right now. But as we continue to do more of these and more people that have indie characters or original characters see this and want to be a part of it, when we open it back up, I know for a fact the floodgates are going to be open the next time we open this up. So like,
people keep
make sure to get your character in here because this is the most limited, if you would, that this database is going to be. So like, you got to really try this time. When we open the floodgates, like there's gonna be a stand-in for everybody. So anyway, definitely let us know down below. And yeah, tune in next week for the Justice League. Again, we're doing the original version of the Justice League, and and for those of you guys that don't know, and we're not talking about the original team from the cartoon. We're talking about original Justice League. We're talking Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter, Aquaman, and Flash. That's it. Ain't no Batman, Superman around here. Now, let us know ahead of time for that too. Who do you guys think? We already have our list. We already got our list. So anyway, let us know down below. Check out that video. Thank you guys for tuning in. Any closing bits there, Tasha, for you?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for in regards to indie breakdown stuff for helping us redefine power scaling in the indie world. And of course, remember, until next time, everybody, midnight is coming. And we'll catch you guys next time.
Welcome to the Super Breakdown Podcast, where cosmic tales unfold. Join Power Maximus, Lord Triage, and the Darth Legacy Jason M40 on a journey through heroic realms where legends are born and destinies entwine. Delve into the cosmic currents, unraveling the mysteries of superheroes, villains, and champions. Embrace the cosmic energy that binds us all, and let your journey begin. This is the Super Breakdown Podcast. Enter the cosmic saga.
These aren't the right people. These names aren't correct. Give us one moment. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that looks right. That's about right there. Welcome to the Super Breakdown Podcast. I am Power Maximus. We are here with everyone's favorite demigod, Lord Triage. Thank you all for staying tuned from the Indie versus Match-Up. That was an amazing time. We love doing it, guys. Please definitely tune in for that. Thank you guys for staying tuned for this. We're gonna have a great time. Sorry about the technical difficulties a second ago. Everything froze up on us, but we are back. We're just not used to running this long. But we are here. We are back, and we got a fun one for you guys today. Sinister Six versus Batman's Rogues Gallery. I'm interested to see where this goes. I'm very interested to see where this goes. What about you, Triage? What you thinking, brother?
I'm dialed in.
I am locked in. I am locked in. Shout out to everyone who is over on Instagram watching us. Thank y'all for tuning in. It's gonna be great. This is gonna be good. All right, so this idea was proposed by you, Triage. And so why is it that you thought of the Sinister Six specifically versus Batman's Rogues Gallery specifically?
Well, the issue that I always see all over the place is that if Batman and Superman basically switch places within their respective universes and had to take on each other's Rogues Gallery, who was having a hard time. Now, once again, we can all debate and talk and say what we want to say, but my feelings. Fuck prep time.
Absolutely, fuck prep time.
And I would also like to point out that if we gave Peter Parker prep time, he's still going to have a far less harder time than Bruce Wayne would. But that's neither here nor there.
I 100% agree with you.
That's my feeling on that. So, and it's like how if that really was the case, I thought who would we look at as far as his main continuity villains? Because everyone knows, the popular ones. Green Goblin, Venom, Carnage. And it's then you look at an actual team that's actually come very close to killing Spider-Man is the Sinister Six.
Yeah. On multiple occasions, not just once, multiple times. Multiple times. When it comes to Sinister Six, I feel like Spider-Man, when it comes to all of them at once, Spider-Man usually skates out on the skin of his teeth. At least on the first run-in with them. And then, he recoups, comes back, makes a plan. Again, prep time. Give anyone enough prep time, they could win. Just saying. But yeah, he usually skates out on the skin of his teeth. On the other hand, how many times has Batman's Rogues Gallery really had him? Well, now, hold on. Let's specifically say what characters from his Rogues Gallery we're talking about. So we're talking about the traditional Sinister Six, where it's Kraven the Hunter, Mysterio, Doc Ock, Vulture, Sandman, Electro. That Sinister Six going against Bane, Mr. Freeze, Killer Croc, Man-Bat, Clayface, and Scarecrow. Right? We're talking about those guys specifically.
Yes, that was the one that I was picking.
So we know Bane's broken the Bat's back, right? But how many of these others in his line have really gave a Bat a run for his money?
Physically,
Yeah,
none of them.
none besides Bane. Mentally, I say Scarecrow definitely did. The Scarecrow definitely did. I don't know what are you thinking about the other guys?
Let's see. I don't think the Man Bat has, as far as I know, I don't think, unless we're counting the whole thing of Ra's al Ghul when he turned his army into the into a bunch of flying ninjas. I use the word ninja loosely.
I don't know. I mean, so every time I've seen an incarnation of Man Bat, like it really didn't take Bruce long to take him down. Like the hardest part really that Bruce really ran into with him is tracking him down and like finding him. It was never really actual combating him. It was just finding him. So, all right. So I'm gonna say off rip, right? I got the Sinister Six off rip. I'm on Sinister Six side.
So am I.
So, but now let's break this down. Why, right? So, are we looking 1v1 these characters? Each of these characters 1v1ing, or we're looking at? No, let's look at both. Let's look at them 1v1, but then also let's look at them overall as a team, right?
Okay.
So let's run it that way, right? So, these characters are kind of similar. We got to look at who we have here. All right, so Kraven the Hunter, right? There's a few characters that I know Kraven gonna go stupid for. Killer Croc and Man Bat. Over it. He's gonna want to hang their fucking heads on his wall. So, who do you think in Batman's gallery would be able to truly combat 1v1 Kraven the Hunter?
Who's truly going 1v1 with Kraven the Hunter? I'd say the person that would have to fight Kraven would have to be Bane.
Okay.
And I would like to say that Kraven's holding his own, but I think I'm definitely good at the Bane, especially Bane when I'm Venom. Now, more recent incarnations of Bane haven't been on Venom because, DC did a grand rewrite and haven't kicked the habit because they didn't want to endorse a character who was so heavily addicted to a steroid. But I mean, if we match them up on paper between physical strength, speed, intelligence, I think the only thing that would give Kraven an edge is the fact that Kraven's a hunter and he takes physical pride in his prowess in killing.
Maybe. Oh, so Tashi says agreed. Honestly, yeah, I have to agree with you. I feel like, all right, so Bane on Venom, yeah, maybe. Bane off Venom, I don't think so. Mentally, like you just said, I agree with you.
So my thing with that also is that we gotta take world experience into play with this too. So there's a difference between someone being trained to fight and someone being trained to kill. Bane's also the guy who committed his first murder at 8.
I mean, at the same time, Kraven's been trained to hunt since a child.
But being trained to hunt and being trained to kill are not the same thing. You can kill as a result of hunting, but you don't always have to. And it's like also one of the things where Bane was in a different type of environment. Like, regardless of the fact that
survival of the fittest, no matter what.
Yeah. So while Kraven was an aristocrat, Bane was in the yard fighting at 8, 9 years old with niggas twice his size.
That's very true. Yeah, you know what? Craven might Craven definitely gonna have a run for his money with that one then.
So Craven's the one. Craven's the one who I think is going to take Bane head on. And I thought whether or not he succeeds, I mean, because we're going all different types of traps and knives. Like I would like to give that to Bane.
Yeah. All right. So let's look at environment wise. If they were to go 1v1, where would they? Where do you think this would happen? Street level or jungle?
Shit,
I feel like that puts.
We put Craven in the jungle. That's an edge for him.
But at the same time, I feel like Bane would be able to adapt pretty quickly.
Could he adapt? Yes, but adapting to something and dealing with something that's a master of it, once again, are not the same.
Yeah, it's like Vietnam War, like, us
Right?
going in against guerrilla warfare. We
Because
was fighting niggas on their home turf.
Bane will fuck around me going to the jungle and fall into a pitfall.
True. Very true.
We'll go full predator with this shit. Have spikes dropping from the sky, big ass weights coming down from tree trunks.
Fucking Home Alone in the woods, in the jungle.
Once again,
I'd watch that. Craven fucking taking the place of Kevin McAllister. That would be fucking hilarious in the woods.
Real quick.
All right. So knockdown, drag out fight between the two. Who you got?
Between Craven and Bane?
Yeah.
Bane. I have a very hard time getting against Bane.
All right. So Mysterio. Say Mysterio would be Scarecrow. I think Mysterio and Scarecrow, it would be like a toe-to-toe between those two.
Right.
I don't know. I'll be honest. In that 1v1, I'm on Scarecrow. I'm with Scarecrow on that one.
Oh. And here's the funny thing. I am too, except for one major thing.
He has to breathe in his toxin in order for it to affect him. With Mysterio having a globe on his head, he would have to get his fear toxin into Mysterio's air supply. Maybe I'm reaching on that one.
No, that was gonna be part of it.
Oh, my bad.
The other thing I was gonna say is that while Scarecrow has used fear toxins to various degrees over the years, Mysterio's illusions, I think, beat the actual realisticness of his toxins. Like, don't get me wrong, Scarecrow has scared people to death, but there also has to be something inside the factor which causes that.
As opposed to Mysterious illusions, which can actually hurt you.
Right? Or it also depends on what the illusion is. Like, you gotta remember, if you've read Old Man Logan, Wolverine killed the X-Men thinking that they were people attacking the mansion. I think that Scarecrow's toxins are just limited, since they're just limited to your own fear, opposed to Mysterio making you see whatever he wants you to see.
That is a solid point.
For all those who can comment in the comments, I dare you to comment what you're afraid of.
Oof. Nah, yeah, I agree. Put it down in the comments.
For me, it's arachnids.
Yeah, same. Yeah, yeah. For me, it's spiders, man. I can't. So yeah, Mysterio. Yeah, I would literally. I would probably be one of the people that died from the fear toxin.
Right. For
So
example,
we got. So are you guys okay with us putting these up on the screen? So we're gonna put them. We will put them up on the screen.
put what on the
I
screen?
should them dropping the comments of their worst fears, because I know sometimes people don't like, like to put all that out there. But so far, I'm seeing claustrophobia. I'm seeing, right now we got, let's see. So me and you, arachnids, close spaces, claustrophobia. Let's see. I usually say nothing, but I'm sure I'm scared of something. It's just not something I ever have to think about. Okay.
I don't know who said that, but only a fool knows no fear.
Oh, she didn't say she didn't know no fear. She said she just doesn't know what it is. It's something that she's read of something. She just hasn't ran it. She just not something she thinks about. She has never ran into it yet, I guess.
Nah, that was a direct scarecrow quote. I just decided to use that moment to say it. I thought it'd be cool.
Oh shit, yeah, I forgot about that. My bad. But yeah, no, I feel like, you know what? I think I'm gonna have to change my mind on that one. On this one, I'm gonna have to go with Mysterio, because showing someone their worst fear, as opposed to showing someone the ability for someone to have someone relive their worst fear, it pales in comparison to the ability to have someone do what you want them to do just by seeing what you want them to see.
Right.
Because seeing is believing a lot of the times.
Well, the saying is, with the ears hear and the eyes see, the mind believes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if you look at it from that aspect, like Scarecrow has been able to manipulate people from the fear toxin entering their bodies, but it's also one of those things like where if you're someone who's strong enough to overcome it, which some people have.
Yeah, Bruce has done it multiple times, to the point where Crane had to formulate a stronger dose specifically for him.
Right. Here's a little inside thing. You know what Crane's afraid of?
Bats, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's afraid of bats. Yeah.
Because when the whole Blackest Night crossover happened, and they had everyone running around, all the different lanterns and not DDs, and the rings essences were affecting people.
Mm-hmm.
You see the fear hitting everyone but Crane, because he's walking through Gotham, and like you see everyone getting affected but him, because Crane's not afraid of anything but the Batman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got MCU's Mysterio is a sore loser. He is. Yeah, he most definitely is. So we got comments saying that MCU's Mysterio is a sore loser.
I second that.
Yeah, most definitely. Let's see. MCU Mysterio was a hoe compared to comics. Exactly, Tashi. I definitely agree. 100%. He definitely was. Which is why we're going off like comics. A hoe. Absolutely. A whole bitch. He was, though. Come on, man.
Like, all kinds of sweet ass. That's crazy.
Just take the L. Come back stronger. Take the L. Come back stronger. But yeah, man. No, that's bad. So I don't know. This is against those two. I'm gonna have to go with Scarecrow on that one. I'm sorry, not Scarecrow. Mysterio on that one.
Yeah, because it's like no one's actually physically pushed past Mysterio's illusions in the way that he's gotten people to do what he wants through his illusions.
Mm-hmm.
Just off that, considering that we've seen that with him and not the Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. If Beck breathes that shit in, it might be a different story, but
mm-hmm.
he's also got to be able to do it. And I think if Beck hits him one of them cubes, and he starts seeing all kinds of wild shit, listen, man.
Yep, I can definitely see it, man. Especially if again, I just want to point out we're also going off of like these guys don't know each other. They don't know each other. Random encounter, just bump into each other on the street. Somebody step on somebody's shoe. Now they get the scrap and
it's a nigga moment. It's a nigga moment. Out of all scenarios, that's making a nigga moment.
I mean, bro, is that not what we did for Turtles and versus the Robins?
Nah. You had to make it a nigga moment, son. I can't get behind that.
Why?
Well, first and foremost, the Turtles are black, so let's get that out of the way. But they are educated black brothers. They ain't hard R's. Not on my watch.
Oh, that's wild. That's
Despite what Michael Bay was trying to purview to the public.
Yeah, that's wow. That's out of pocket. Wow, that's out of pocket. That.
Yeah, I said what I said. Fuck Michael Bay. Go stick to making Transformer movies, my boy.
You can't even do that right anymore.
Yeah, I ain't arguing.
Like the Ballad of Abdullah Ammar. Oh man. All right. So Mysterio taking that one. So we got what? We're one for one right now. All right. So Doc Ock. Who you think is somebody that would out of who we have here is somebody that is really gonna give Doc a run for his money? Because he's from Schenectady.
At a Batman's Rogues Gallery, the only person I see legitimately giving him a fight is Freeze.
Don't forget. Hold on. Let's not forget. This nigga Doc Ock is from Schenectady.
Listen, man, I'm staying with the 518 all day, boy.
Absolutely, he's from Schenectady, and anybody from 518 upstate New York, y'all already know what it is. It gets cold as a motherfucker. It is cold as a motherfucker up here. In the wintertime, man, listen. Up here, it is crazy. It is crazy up here. So I think Doc can withstand his cold. I think Doc can 100% withstand his cold.
My brother, he moved down to North Carolina, and he was talking about how when they got their first snow of the year, right, when he first moved down there, he gets dressed, goes out the door, goes to work. So he gets stopped by the police, and the police tell him to go home. It's a state of emergency. He looks around like, this light coat's a fucking state of emergency. We get 4 feet and get told to get the fuck to work.
Man, listen, you saw what happened when Texas got slammed with snow. They had to shut down a whole damn state. Niggas had no power, no running water. Nah, man, when it comes to the cold, I mean, don't get me wrong, Schenectady is no Buffalo. Schenectady is no Buffalo. I will say that. Buffalo is different. Mr. Free is probably from Buffalo. When it snows in Buffalo, it motherfucking snows in Buffalo. So, honestly, so intellectually, because these are two characters who are highly, highly, highly intelligent. They're both doctors and PhD, two different forms of, different practices, but they're both doctors. They're incredibly intelligent, incredibly smart. Who do you think is coming on top when it comes to intellect?
Oh, that's actually a great question. Let's see, because Free specializes in cryokinetics.
And what? Otto is biomechanics.
Yes, that, and you gotta remember he was also doing research in the energy forms too.
Oh yeah, he trying to make an artificial sun.
So I would like to say I would give that to Otto.
You know, I honestly, I agree with you. I mean, Freeze's ray gun, he could freeze his, his legs, his mechanical tentacles to the ground, but I'm pretty sure there's a he has antifreeze on there, and he can break through the ice because those things are incredibly strong. He's lifting up cars, so the legs are lifting up whole cars while also lifting himself up. So they're incredibly strong. His freeze ray, no type of ice is holding Otto down. So I'm gonna say Otto. And yes, Tashi, I agree. He's definitely more ruthless than Freeze. Because again, like, how many people has Freeze actually killed?
Quite a few. Freeze has killed quite a few, actually. But see, the thing that separates Freeze the thing that separates Freeze and the octopus. I'll say it again. The thing that separates Victor and Otto from the rest of the villains is they're scientists first.
Mm-hmm.
Like, regardless of the situation, Victor Freeze only ever had one goal in mind. That was to save Nora.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Otto was always experimenting to further his career and find the new best way to further mankind. And it's just like, once his arms got stuck to his back, like, he committed crimes, but he only ever committed crimes for the sake of furthering research. So
yeah, he was
they're
robbing banks to
scientists
get
first.
funding.
Yeah.
Tachi
So I
says
think
Freeze is definitely more a villain of circumstance. He's definitely a villain of circumstance, especially if you looked at his origin and how he became who he is. It was no fault of his own. It was what was it, if I remember correctly, like, it was I can't remember what crime family or what industry it was, but they saw that he was doing work on his wife, and said when they fired him, and they're like, oh no, we own your wife too, because you're preserving her with our technology that was traded here.
It was a goth corp, and the guy he worked for was a cat named Ferris Boyle.
Boyle, that's it. That's the name. Yup, goth corp, Ferris Boyle. And they ended up throwing him into freezing him, throwing him into a chamber, but he ended up surviving. We did a whole episode on Freeze, so definitely go check out our YouTube. It's on our YouTube within season 2. Well, at least the second playlist for the Super Breakdown. We did an entire episode on Mr. Freeze. It was actually a really, really damn good episode. Surprise, like it went incredibly well. So definitely go check that out if you guys want to know more about Freeze.
Yo, we not done an episode about Dr. Octopus.
We have not done an episode about Otto. Huh. That's crazy. We really have not done an episode on Otto.
Yeah, we're gonna need to fix that.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Tashi says, Bruce Wayne can solve all Freeze's problems in 2 seconds. Absolutely. Just a swipe of that Amex. Just swipe that Amex. Mally says, Ferris Boyle's voiced by Mark Hamill before he became Joker, replacing Tim Curry. I didn't know that. Oh wait, no, I did. I didn't know that. I ran across a random episode of this podcast that strictly talks about Batman the animated series, and they had mentioned that. I do remember that. And absolutely, yeah, like I said, swipe that Amex, done. It's all right, Freeze. It's all right. And that's why I feel like, I know a lot of people hate Clooney's Batman, but I feel like the way they had Clooney's Batman solve the Freeze issue was it made a lot of sense. All Freeze wanted was to save his wife's life.
I think that movie's downfall in hindsight was Schumacher. I think that was all the director and the angle they wanted to go, and that and the fact that the studio wanted a more child-friendly movie.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. 100%. 100%. It was Schumacher. If you had left, and that's the reason why, what was it? Tim Burton didn't want to do it because they told him, "Hey, can you make it a little more lighthearted and fun?" And that's also why Kilmer didn't come back.
Keaton.
I'm sorry, Keaton. That's why Keaton didn't come back, because he's like, "No, this is Batman. What are we doing?"
Yeah. This is
Doctor Octopus, armed and dangerous, as reference for Doc Ock. Yeah.
said again.
Armed and dangerous.
I hear that shit in my nightmares for all those that play Rivals. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Dude. So, all right, quick side tangent, right? I saw a video of the voice actor of Iron Man from Rivals. He's like, man, I just got into Marvel Rivals, but I'm afraid to do the voice chat. He's like, but I want to do it so bad. They're like, why? Because he's like, Iron Man has his ult is what is it?
Maximum Pulse.
Maximal Pulse. Yeah, and so he's like, apparently it gives people PTSD when they hear it. So he's like, I so badly just want to play as Iron Man and be in the chat and just yell and just yell a Maximal Pulse and just see what happens. I'm like, dude, you are a villain. You're a fucking villain. That is villain work right there. But also, like quite a few of the voice actors from Marvel Rivals actually play Marvel Rivals together and they play their characters and they do the same shit.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I swear, man. The voice of Wanda, man, I'd have to get her banned. I'd have to ban her ass.
Right? Could you imagine like the top ranked Wolverine in the world was actually voiced by Steve Bloom? Was actually Steve Bloom?
That would be sick. Why must we trigger you every week? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? How? What do we do? We're just being us. We're just being simple old little us. That's all we do.
But nah, man. I mean, I think like if it came down to it, because Freeze would have to somehow not only freeze Ock, he'd have to freeze his arms, which are also moving individually and can move on their own. And it's also like he'd have to stop his mobility.
Mm-hmm.
But all Ock would have to do is get rid of Freeze's gun.
Yep, and that's it.
And then if he compromises Freeze's suit,
it's over. Checkmate.
So we got Sinister Six 2, the Bats Rogues Gallery 1.
Yep, 2-1. Sinister Six up. Let's see. No, Mal, you're absolutely right. The parents were also complaining the Batman movies directed by Tim Burton were too violent. But we end up running into that a lot. Look what happened to the Turtles. Go ahead, Triage. Take it away.
Oh my fucking God. Yes.
Take
because
it away.
if you watch the original movie from the 90s, it is grade A turtle material. Listen, I don't care what no one says. That original fucking movie is spot on. It's great. It's a classic. It's true to the source material. But then you get Secret of the Ooze, and they had to nerf my boys. They had to neuter them so they couldn't use their weapons. They didn't to get into an actual physical fight with the Shredder. It's just
Yeah.
And then the fucking dance number with Vanilla Ice. Don't get me wrong.
Go ninja, go ninja,
I just fucking can't. I can't.
No, Jorge, I 100% agree with you. That would be a lot of ice in order to accomplish to immobilize Otto. So Otto's definitely taking that. But no, but we see that all the time. People are like, oh, it's too violent. And so next thing you see is that they're nerfed. The reason why the first Turtles film was so good was because it was a amazing amalgamation of the original comics as well as the original show, an animated series. So it brought both of those together. It was violent, but also as well it was a lot of comedy in it as well.
Well, here's my thing though. As a kid, I never looked at the Turtles, the Power Rangers, Batman. I never looked at them as being violent. I looked at it as I looked at it as the turtles are good, the Foot are bad. You know, the good guys won, the bad guys lost.
Plain and
That
simple.
was it. That pretty straightforward. But like I said, like as an older person looking back on it, like the whole thing with the Foot and the way they did things, that is an accurate depiction of gang culture to me. Like that whole thing where Tatsu goes in there and starts fucking them up because they failed the mission, shit like that. Like
and initiations and shit like that. They had to steal X amount of shit in order to get in. The whole idea of we're your family, we'll take care of you, can't trust nobody else, so do what we say because we know what's best for you. Absolutely, 100%.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, I get the whole thing because they did put Raphael in a coma and burn April's apartment complex to the ground.
Oh yeah, that shit
the
was
building.
wild.
But
the whole building, yeah.
But I never thought of it as being overly violent as a kid. I really didn't. It never crossed my mind that, oh, this is something violent I'm watching. But it's like I get the whole concern, but it's like that's not really what it was.
No, not at all. Not at all. All right. So next we got Vulture. We already know Man-Bat. Vulture, Man-Bat. I'm taking Vulture on this one.
Oh, so I would take the Vulture. I would take the Vulture also, just for the simple fact that Adrian Toomes actually is brilliant, and Adrian Toomes still has his intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
The Man-Bat's more of a feral animal.
Yep.
So he could be very easily outsmarted.
Yep.
But
like
I think
when he goes against Batman, the hardest part that Bruce had, actually, even if you look at the I can't remember what year it came out, but the Batman, it didn't take him long.
Hold on. I'm sorry. This guy just said the Thundercats is the most entertaining show of the 80s growing up.
Yeah. I was gonna touch on that in a sec.
I'm sorry, Power. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No. I was definitely gonna touch on that in a sec. So we're gonna keep that up there. We're gonna talk about that. But yeah, they have cream for that, right? If Batman literally has, I've never seen Batman ever have a problem handling Man-Bat. Never had a problem handling Man-Bat. And the nigga can't even really fly. This nigga falls in style.
Buzz, really?
Yeah, so I saw the opportunity. I had to take it. Yes, the 02, yes, Mally. Yeah, the 02 Batman series. That's what I'm thinking of. Thank you.
02.
Yeah, the Batman, the one that fought Dracula.
Oh, I thought that was like 04, 05.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. 02 sounds about right. Because it ran, because it had about four. It had four seasons. So I think it probably ended around 04, 05.
Well, because I distinctly remember that being out when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
But yes.
But
so I think that, like, as far as like the air goes, like there's not many airborne Batman villains besides the Man-Bat and Firefly.
I forgot about Firefly. Yep.
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm missing anybody, please throw them in the comments. But it's like as far as that goes, like, yeah, I would say the only thing that would give him more of an edge, because the Vulture has tech and Man-Bat doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, if she's a bat and knows how a bat works, I mean, all he's got to do is set off something sonic, it'll disrupt his fucking echolocation. Next thing he flies into a tree. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like, I think Toomes is going to outsmart him. I also think that the thing that would give the Man-Bat a more edge is the fact that he is a primal animal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, if the second he feels threatened, he might fuck around and bite him and start drinking his blood. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, because he crossed it with a vampire bat too. It's not. He wasn't just like a fruit bat or whatever. All right. So before we move on to the next one, so clearly that's what 3-1. 3-1, Sinister Six up.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about this real quick. Then let's take a quick break. Thundercats is the most entertaining show of the 80s. How do you feel about that?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I missed the 80s first and foremost. I was born 89. So I can't say that per se, but I mean the big shows of the 80s, the big three were Thundercats, Transformers, and G.I. Joe.
Wait, Turtles were in there?
They were, but they weren't considered they weren't considered as big yet.
Okay.
The Turtles came about towards the end of the 80s. With as far as like the show anyway, excuse me.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and me, I'm a 90s baby, so I honestly I wouldn't know. I'm a 90s baby. I would not know. I was born in 94. So I would not know about anything about the 80s. So I'm gonna take you at your word. I'm gonna take you at your word for that. They said, I'm just disappointed that Rojas didn't become the series version of Lockup. He have the right reasons to do it. Batman lasted 5 seasons. Yeah, so 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so it probably ended around 07.
Oh, he's back on the Batman Strikes again. Okay. Yeah, I thought that was a very accurate depiction of the character. I like that depiction of the character. I thought it was also cool that he was a younger version. But I don't know. I mean, I've always been a bigger fan of Batman's villains than I actually was a Batman. That's just me though. Especially the older I got.
I agree with you. I agree,
Now,
and that's that I've always felt that way about just in general. I don't like DC heroes. I like their villains, and then when it comes to Marvel, I like their heroes. I'm not a big fan of their villains.
Well, I always thought that I thought Marvel told better stories. I thought DC had better characters.
Oh yes, that's a solid observation. 100% agree with you. 100% agree with you.
But my thing is too. Like, hold on. The funny fact about the Batman Strikes. That is the one and few times that you never see Ra's al Ghul, you never saw the Scarecrow, and you never saw Harvey Dent.
And Batman Strikes?
Yes.
Which one is Batman Strikes?
The one that he's talking about. The one you guys were just talking about.
The Batman?
I say the Batman Strikes is because there's a comic series that tied in with that show, and it was called the Batman Strikes.
Oh, really? I thought Ra's was in that.
No, Ra's al Ghul never appears in that series. Neither did Harvey Dent, neither did the Scarecrow. But that's because they were working on Batman Begins.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, shit. Okay.
Think about it. You don't even see Gordon till like the 3rd or 4th season.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Because so you meet Gordon the same season that Barbara comes in.
Correct.
Okay. I forgot about that because we've had a few episodes where I don't know. I talked so highly about that series. I enjoyed the fuck out of it, and then that Dick Grayson Robin, he was a little fucking savage. He was a little fucking savage. Penguin was like, "Huh, got the little lackey here." Look at that lackey. What? Pink, 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 pink. Proceeded to whoop that little penguin motherfucker's ass, and then on top of that, I feel like that was one of the first iterations of Penguin that we see him actually be a problem.
Like hands and feet wise. Same thing with Joker.
Feet wise. Yeah. Oh, that's my favorite Joker. I'm sorry. The way I'd say it, it's like, so he's not like my overall favorite Joker, but I don't know. He's my favorite because that he was a nigga. He was a nigga. That Joker, he was a nigga.
He had dreads.
His voice by a nigga too.
Listen, he had locks and he looked like he was with the shits. He looked like he listened to Bob Marley and grew cotton in his yard. So he looked insane.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. But I'd speak highly of that. I would never talk down about that. But let's take a quick break. When we come back, the Darth Legacy himself, Jason M40, will be back. We'll be in for the second half of the show, and we're gonna get into our last two, which is Electro and Sandman. Electro and Sandman. So this is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good one. So right now, as it stands, before we go on break, Sinister Six, 3, Batman's Rose Gallery 1. We'll be right back after these short messages.
Welcome to the Super Breakdown Podcast, where cosmic tales unfold. Join Power Maximus, Lord Triage, and the Darth Legacy Jason M40 on a journey through heroic realms where legends are born and destinies entwine. Delve into the cosmic currents, unraveling the mysteries of superheroes, villains, and champions. Embrace the cosmic energy that binds us all, and let your journey begin. This is the Super Breakdown Podcast. Enter the cosmic saga.
What? Yeah. What? Understand I got a lot on my mind, a lot on my chest.
Starting a war with these stars, you won't get far. This is the way you play a game of life or death star. So far removed from the drama, we don't notice harm, but won't hesitate to shed a light like a Patronus charm. With mischief managed, troubles at a disadvantage. Must be something in the water, dip your toe because you know it's warm. Where can you find another show with such a fine cast? And if you try to box them in, they playing Minecraft. And basically the sum made up like you define now. This crew's the best and it figures like a line graph. I'm Mary band like the words I do. Level-headed, you don't have to have absurd IQs. They know you can relate because they're nerds like you. With their help, you'll see the world from a blur's eye view. Yeah. You are now tuned in to Blur's Eye View. And without further ado, we out.
And we're back, and we're back, and we're back, and we're back. Definitely tune in to the Indie Prime Time. I'm talking every last one of us on this is absolutely amazing. I'm talking we have clearly us, we're there. We have Room Full of Blurs. Shout out to Lady Mandalore. We have Indie Breakdown. Shout out to Lloyd and Tashi of Midnight Comics in the Indie Breakdown. We have Blur's Eye View. Shout out to Chris as well as Lady Mandalore and everyone else on their crew. That is a stacked cast. And again, it is unfiltered. I swear you will have the time of your life watching these guys. And then, of course, absolutely tune in on Fridays for Tashi J on Melanin Minds. It's absolutely amazing. Every single person that is a part of the Indie Primetime, every single show gives you a different aspect of nerddom in the comic book universe. So please definitely tune in to us and tell your friends, tell your wife, tell your grandma, because we here. We is here. All right, so we are back. We got Darth Legacy himself, Jason M40, he is officially in the show right now. So we are moving on to our last two battles here. And then we'll wrap those up real quick, and then I want to do a full-on team v team, right? Because I feel like that is another aspect of these two teams that I feel like is very important to talk about. All right, so let's go Sandman. All right. I'm pretty sure we can all agree that only person that is really stacking up against Sandman is Clayface. Or maybe
I
I'm
would
wrong.
say I would not. I personally wouldn't put Clayface against Sandman. I would put someone else. But
only two we got is Killer Croc and Clayface left on from Batman's Rose Gallery.
No, I'm just saying in general. Like I'm just saying like there's somebody else I pick. But
overall,
the reason why I would say Clayface is gonna fail and fail miserably,
yeah,
is because while their powers might be similar, Clayface only has the clay that's based off his body mass. And he can only manipulate it so far.
Mm-hmm.
Flint. Shit, nigga, you played Spider-Man.
Yeah, that shit was wild. That nigga was this thing was the middle of the city, pulling sand from fucking Coney Island, Rockaway, everywhere. In the middle of the city. I see. That's interesting that you say that because that's not what I thought of. I didn't think about that. What I thought of is I can see Clayface. What's his number one thing he does? He tries to absorb people, right? I feel like he's gonna try to absorb him, but the thing about Clayface, he can only control like the clay, like you just said, the clay that's on his body, right? But the biggest problem is once it leaves his body, like he no longer controls it. He has to like go over and reabsorb it and whatever. On the other hand, like you said, go ahead,
I'm
Jay.
sure that has a name where a part of your body detaches, but you still have control of it. Like you're still able to use it and manipulate it and use it to your advantage. Clayface can't do that.
Yeah, no, not at all. Well, the way I was going with it is that
Wait, that's not true. Clayface can do that.
Oh, he can't. Oh, he can.
Oh,
you're right. Because
okay. I thought he like Clayface was more of being able to absorb someone and then disguise himself as that person, how they look, sculpt himself to how they look.
Well, he does. Yeah, he doesn't have to absorb them to do that. He can just look at them and do it. I mean, but it also takes practice too. It's not something he has to like practice, becoming that person usually. But what I'm thinking of is, I don't know, because I was thinking of him trying to absorb Sandman, but Sandman ended up taking control of him because like he has all that, he has the sand inside him. Flint controls the sand, thus Flint then controls Clayface. But now that you say that, Triage, I think it could actually go both ways.
Because I remember there was an episode of the cartoon where Clayface was almost arrested. So he split a section of himself off, and it took like the appearance of a little girl, and it was supposed to scout the area and make sure it was safe and come back and get him.
Oh, okay.
It took on its own consciousness and just wandered off.
Yep, I remember that, and that was an episode of the Batman. I remember that one.
Huh.
And that, and again, to speak highly of the Batman, like not Batman himself, but the show The Batman. I feel like it did that story so fucking well. That Clayface, I felt like it's not like his original origins at all, but it was done very well.
Well, here's the funny thing. So we have never actually seen the original Clayface in any of the animated stuff.
Didn't we see the original Clayface in Cape Crusader?
I have not watched Cape Crusader.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
What is Clayface's name?
Damn. Give me a second. Let me double check.
I did not watch it.
Oh,
So
I
I'm not
highly
sure.
recommend it. It's no Batman the animated series. But it's most definitely it holds up very well. It holds up very, very well. Basil Carlo.
Basil Carlo is the original Clayface.
Yep. Yep. And from Cape Crusader.
Okay.
He's an actor who ends up he's ugly and he can't get the roles that he wants. He wants the roles of like, the main lead. He doesn't want the villain anymore. And so he gets these experimental shots in his face.
That's right.
Yeah, that
That's
allows him to change his appearance and look good to get these roles. But the woman that he loved, which was like the lead, who had the lead female of the whole thing, pretty much rejected him, and then just went mad. Type shit. Yeah, but no, it ended up not only did it do that, but it ended up like actually like deforming his face. Like when he stopped taking it, stopped using it, it actually made his face worse, and it made it mush and made it malleable.
Crazy.
Yeah. So Basil Carlo. So yeah, we see him in Cape Crusader, but you're right. That's the only time we see him.
Yes, I believe that's also the same Clayface from the Batman games, the animated series, not the animated series, from the Arkham series. But see now, if you watch the Batman, and then if you watch the animated series Batman, you know that those two Batmans, their Clayface is Matt Hagen.
Mm-hmm.
And now Matt Hagen, for whatever reason, whatever time they show him, they always show him having that backstory of Basil. Excuse me, not Basil. Oh, you just said his name.
Yeah, Carlo.
Carlo, yes.
Yeah,
So yes,
his first name is Basil.
Excuse me, Basil Carlo, yes. So whenever we see that, we always saw Matt Hagen, and I always thought that was weird. But I thought that was always connection to the actual actor, because there was an actual actor named Basil Carlo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but didn't we end up seeing? Yeah, we end up seeing Matt Hagen as well in the Batman, because they end up being two Clayfaces.
Yes, he's the second one.
Mm-hmm.
But if we compare them scale wise, like, okay, Clayface can shapeshift, he can change his anatomy, he can change his density, he can pull people into them himself and suffocate them, he can impale people and all these other things, but he's not beating Flint. It's not happening.
I just feel like Flint can do so much more. Like proportion wise.
No, I have to agree with you, Jay. So what are you thinking that Sandman is able to do as opposed to Clayface? Jay?
Well, I mean, Sandman could gather another 10 tons of sand to himself and increase his size and density, and I don't think that Clayface could be capable of doing that, could he?
No.
Like, yeah, he can only do based off like what's already on his body.
Yeah, so that alone.
And he can't make more clay, right? Yeah, he can't
No.
make more clay either. So when he starts to let pieces of him off of his body, he gets smaller and smaller and smaller.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm giving it to Sandman. What do you guys think in the comments? Clayface or Sandman? Clayface or Sandman? What do you guys think? And why? Let us know why. There's only to say one or the other. Let us know why. Yeah, Tashi, Jason in the house.
Hello, Tashi.
Yeah, because I'm curious what you guys think. So far, we got We got Bane taking Craven. We got Mysterio taking Scarecrow. Otto taking Mr. Freeze. We got Vulture taking Man-Bat. Sandman taking Clayface. So this leaves Electro versus Killer Croc.
Nah, hold on.
You know what I just thought of?
We're scrubbing Croc. So boys and girls, children of somewhat various ages, time off individuals, motherfuckers and motherfuckers. If you can think of someone, anyone in Batman's Rogues Gallery who even holds a candle to Electro, I'll wait.
Just gonna sit here in silence.
Yeah, I mean,
I want to see what you got. I want to see what you guys got. Anybody?
It really isn't. There. I mean,
yeah.
I thought of something cool though. I mean, what if Electro attacked, like Clayface or Sandman, and the electric particles interfered with the sand, and it made the sand not able to like.
It turned into glass. When sand superheated, it turns to glass. So Electro, hitting Flint like with all power can turn to glass. Because that's what. Didn't they do that shit in Spider-Man 3? You started turning him. No, they actually did it in the game. Because in the game you you used Miles to his electricity to shock him, which to break him down a little bit and turn him to glass, break him down, and then Peter hit him with the water tower. In Spider-Man 2. Have you played Spider-Man 2, Jay?
I have not. I played the original Spider-Man though.
Oh, Spider-Man 2. Man, you are behind. You are missing out. Did you play Miles?
Yeah, a little bit. I did not finish it though.
Oh, you got to finish that too. Cause I was against it. Triage, you know that
good game. Good game.
It's an amazing game. You know that the one suit that you get where he got like the combat boots on, the red and black flannel pants, and the jacket and shit like that.
Nah. Say it the way you want to. Though he's running around with Black Force energy and Timberland boots, curb stomping niggas like you.
No, not that one. Not that one. Not the Timberland boots one. Because I most definitely was running around the Timberland boots one, stomping niggas in the face, 8-town stomping them straight up. Harlem shaking on these niggas. No, I definitely was doing that. But no, I'm talking about the one that was all black. It looks like his regular spider suit underneath, but he has a thick leather black jacket on. He has some camouflage that are red and black camouflage, like combat pants, and all black and red combat boots on.
Yes, I know the one of what you speak.
Yeah, I used that to finish the game. Bro, when I say that shit looks so fire in the ending cutscene, crazy, bro. This shit looks so fire. I highly recommend before you hit that final cutscene, throw that fit on, throw that fucking fit on, because that shit looks so goddamn epic. All right, I'm sorry, we're off topic here, but yeah. So yeah, I mean, but we've seen Electro. We've seen Electro and Sandman go toe to toe before, like just be in the formation of the Sinister Six, and we all know how that goes. But no, yeah, man, I can't think of anyone in Batman's Rogues Gallery that can hold a candle to Electro at all. None. Never. None whatsoever. I don't know. I mean, can y'all? All right, so who would? So we're still going with Electro versus Killer Croc, right?
Nah, we're scrapping Croc.
No, we're scrapping Croc.
Yeah, he's gonna turn Croc into a fucking rug. Max about to have a new pair of fucking alligator shoes when this shit's over.
All right, so So who you thinking? Who you thinking?
Who in Batman's Rose Gallery is taking on Electro?
Static Shock.
No. Shit. So I don't know. I'm pretty sure she's not a part of Batman's Rose Gallery, but Livewire.
Livewire is technically Superman's.
Yeah. Oh, really? Superman?
Yeah, she's technically Superman's. If I remember me correctly.
Let me see. I mean, we all know Black Lightning can easily handle Livewire.
Oh my god. He went there.
What? What'd I do?
You know what you did. Don't plead the fifth and try to act like you don't. You know what you did.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir. I swear I don't.
You're not here talking about Livewire taking Black Lightning. That's for whatever reason, all of a sudden Genuine starts playing in the background. Yeah, all right, whatever, nigga. I've seen the meme just like you have. Don't be that guy.
Oh god, I'm always that guy. So she's a minor antagonist to in the new Batman Adventures, Justice League, and Element. But yep, Superman villain. Yep. Damn. Let's see. Let me. I don't know. All right. So you wanna skip, and I'll see if I can find somebody that maybe. So let's spin back around. Let's spin the block back around. Oh. To that. Well, actually, no. We got to find somebody anyways because we're running the team one.
It's difficult.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Jesus Christ. I found one. I have no clue who the fuck this person is, though. No fucking clue who the fuck this person is. Lester Boskinski is the brother of the original Electrocutioner. Originally fighting for justice, just like his brother, he later became a criminal and a mercenary. Overly reliant on his ability to generate electricity, the Electrocutioner 3 has faced and been defeated by Batman, Robin, and Nightwing. So this nigga is one of the most fucking obscure Batman villains I've ever heard of.
It sounds like he's mentioned like once ever.
Is this guy? But then there's what? How do you say it? Voltic from he's a Suicide Squad member. He can generate and project electricity energy, which provide useful.
I'm sorry. I was blissfully relieving myself for a moment there. Did you say the Electrocutioner?
I did, but I quickly moved on. I said that nigga is the most obscure fucking Batman villain I've ever seen. Like, I don't even see an iteration of him that's in like a newer comic. I'm seeing first appearance in Batman number 331 in 1981, and then his own comic called Lester Detective Comics number 644 in 1992. Yeah, no. Damn. I guess what we saying he wins by default?
Yeah.
Yeah. Electro wins by default. Wait. What's up?
Nope, never mind.
So like I said, this one kid I was looking at was Voltic. He's a Suicide Squad member.
The only person I can think of that might stand a chance is Deathstroke.
Maybe. You
Oh,
know, and
that's
that's another
interesting.
thing. My bad. That's another thing. I was looking at people with electric powers. Just like overall. Yeah, I think Deathstroke's the only one that would be like able to withstand his electricity for a little bit of time. But yeah, no, man, he wins. Electron wins by default. So team-wise, I'm just gonna say this just to wrap that up real quick. Sinister Six wins when it comes to team. Because on multiple occasions we have seen the Sinister Six. They're called the Sinister Six altogether. They're known as a team. And then every time we've seen any of Batman's rogues gallery try to work together as a team, they all end up fucking each other over, end up falling apart, end up losing. Because they all end up going out for their own type of agendas. Or one person wants to kill Batman, the other person's like, no, fuck you, I get to kill Batman. No, fuck you, I get to kill Batman. Over and over and over and over. And next thing you know, Batman busts all their ass, ties them up, and you got these things hanging upside down with the cocks out.
Whoa.
Am I right or wrong?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Maybe I'm wrong about the cocks out part, but still, yeah, I think the Sinister Six is 100%, absolutely 100% taking the dub in this situation. 1v1, all they got is Bane. That's taken out. So out of the Sinister Six, who's taking Bane out?
You said add the Sinister Six?
Yeah, who's taking Bane out?
Listen, I don't give a fuck how tough he is. He's not surviving being hit by multiple electric bolts. Multiple lightning bolts.
And I'm pretty sure he's not going to survive being fucking drowned in sand.
Hmm.
Yeah, he may be able to survive Kraven, and I think he may have the mental fortitude to withstand Mysterio's illusions, but man, he's not surviving getting dropped from fucking orbital velocity by Vulture, drowned in sand, hit with multiple lightning bolts, and then with a fucking octopus metal tentacle shoved up his ass. He's not surviving. He's not winning that. He's not winning that. Now, so if we were to try to give Batman's villains some dubs, how would you rearrange these 1v1s? So like,
I'm sorry.
All right, so how would you rearrange these 1v1s if we were to see if Batman's villains can take the dub?
They can't, because there is no one in his rogues gallery who I think, like, I would like to say Ra's al Ghul could be dangerous, but it's one of them things like, all right, if the Scarecrow used his fear toxin, that might work, but it's also one of those things like where that might make some of them more dangerous. Like, can you imagine Electro panicking?
Yeah, that's a problem. Because I was just about to say that Scarecrow versus Kraven. I'm pretty sure Scarecrow. I think Scarecrow will be able to get one over on Kraven, especially with this fear toxin and the spray. All he has to do is put that shit in the air, linear in the air. But that doesn't just affect humans though; that affects animals too. So if they're in the fucking jungle, any animal that's nearby, he can easily fucking distract. He can
What?
easily fucking distract Craven by fucking spraying a fucking lion or a fucking tiger in the face with the fear toxin, and then setting it fucking loose.
My thing with that is too is like you spray Craven with that shit, that just makes him more dangerous. You don't ever go near a cornered animal.
That is also true. Oh, well, I forget. I also forget that Craven he's not just an expert hunter. It's what makes him an expert hunter that makes him dangerous, right? It's the fact that he has heightened senses, heightened strength, heightened speed, and agility. He's not just a regular hunting nigga. No, he actually has powers and abilities. I forget that. I'll be honest, I forget that. Now, no. What's Craven doing against Clayface?
Ooh.
What's Craven doing against Clayface?
Mm-hmm.
Stab and sand.
What
Clay.
Craven do? I mean, he does have some electrified weapons, but other than that, because he can't crush him or ensnare him. He can't trap him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would like to think that Clayface would try to get close quarters to kill him, but I don't know. I definitely feel like Craven's dying.
Yeah, especially if Clayface does separate apart himself without Craven knowing, and now it ends up becoming a 2-on-1. Yeah, I think Clayface will get that. All right, we already know he's Craven's mopping Man-Bat and Killer Croc. I think Killer Croc would give him a fight, but in the end, Craven's gonna win.
Craven's fucking Croc, you hear me? In the ass.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yep, with that long ass Bowie knife, like fucking Crocodile Dundee. And then that's a knife. That's not a knife. Well, this is a knife. Looking as man, I guess like Freeze could take Vulture, Freeze in his wings.
Yeah.
But he would have to be an extra fucking shot because Vulture can fly pretty fucking fast. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It gets messy when you go to do it this way. I don't know. Yeah, Sinister Six it's just again, these guys come so close to achieving their goal on multiple different occasions. Doc Ock does win against Spider-Man in the Superior Spider-Man storyline. Peter actually dies because Otto is dying, and he had switching brains and putting Peter in his body, and he's in Peter's body.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I think who was it that somebody ran down on Otto as Spider-Man, not knowing that he's not Spider-Man, and Otto fucking punches him in the face and fucking punches his jaw off. And then he's sitting there and he's horrified at himself and he's like, holy shit. He's really been holding back. I've really been nothing against this man. Like, he could have killed me at any moment that he wanted to. But they're unable to switch back because Otto's body ends up giving out while Peter is inside Otto's body, and he dies. And that's where Otto, after he realizes what he did, he's like, fuck. Yeah. So he ends up becoming and taking on the mantle, truly taking on the mantle of Spider-Man. Yeah, each one of these guys has succeeded at defeating Spider-Man at one point or another. So I'd have to say, yeah, I'm going Sinister Six all the way around, all the way through. And the 1v1, Bane takes Craven. Other than that, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. They packing him up. Packing him up. I don't know. I'll let y'all see another way. Anybody see another way? I don't see another way.
No.
No. I don't. Well, I don't know. There's nothing more to really say about it, man. Maybe we can grab another 6 of Batman's rogues, but there's still these to me, these are the best, some of the best characters in Batman's rogues, excluding Man-Bat. You know, there's Scratch Man-Bat. But yeah, these are some of the. I honestly, yeah, I wouldn't. So I'd scratch Man-Bat and put in. I'm not saying Joker because they're murking Joker. They're killing Joker. Joker's not holding a candle to any of these guys.
Even if someone says Joker, I'd say Green Goblin or Carnage.
Oh my God, man, yo, imagine a Carnage fucking Joker. Imagine Carnage fusing with Joker.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, visually look crazy, but actually, I'll be honest. I think it would be a nerf to Carnage. I think if he fused with Joker, it would be a nerf. Somebody asked me why.
Why?
Because I feel like Carnage is more of a psychopath than Joker is. Joker likes to play too many fucking games. Carnage wants blood.
Okay.
So I feel like him fusing with Joker would be a nerf for Carnage. I don't know, man, but listen, this has been I ain't got nothing to say. You guys got any final remarks?
Never bet on the brother with the 8 limbs from Schenectady.
518 all day. Yeah, Jay, you know that, right?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Doc Ock's from Schenectady. Don't forget that, y'all. Don't forget that Doc Ock is from Schenectady. What about you, Jay?
I mean, we were pretty thorough. I don't know. I think Sandman is a very difficult person to defeat, and yeah, just makes you think.
Honestly, no, hell, you're right. Honestly, Sandman, I'd say Sandman is washing that entire list. Like his level of power, Sandman's watching that whole list. Yeah. And I feel like it goes vice versa too. You put Spider-Man in Gotham, crime rate is gonna drop overnight. Put Batman in in Spider-Man's world, Batman's getting washed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it is.
They claim that all he needs is a day of prep time to take them all out. I doubt that, though.
Yeah.
I doubt that. Fuck prep time.
I don't. Yeah, fuck prep time. I don't believe that. I just feel like I want to see how they would do that, but I can't. I don't. Not really, because I know it's gonna be nothing but plot armor fuckery. Nothing but plot armor fuckery. I can't co-sign it. I can't get behind it. Batman is not beating Spider-Man's Rose Gallery. Batman's not beating the Sinister Six by himself. Fuck no.
Let's not forget about the Kingpin. Let's not forget about Tombstone. Let's not forget about the Rhino. Let's not forget about Scorpion.
That's another 4 right there.
Yeah, that's
Hobgoblin,
We got
Green Goblin, the
Hobgoblin, Green
Chameleon.
Goblin, Shocker,
and
Lizard.
some of those characters alone are
Yeah. Let's not forget about Lizard as well.
The Lizard.
Fucking Venom. Venom. Fucking imagine a Venomized Batman.
He'd be a pussy.
Absolute a puss. Like, yeah,
Batman would chew down on a cyanide pill.
I feel like Batman is only good in Batman's world. Batman's only good in Batman's world. Like, hell, we all know who's winning in a battle between Batman and T'Challa. We already know who's winning that.
I'm mad you even brought it up.
Yeah, no, I was just pointing out. I was pointing out the fact that, like, if T'Challa and Spider-Man are relative in strength, speed, and agility and shit like that, that no.
I wouldn't say that.
I said relative. So they're not exact in or the same, but they're in the same realm of each other. Actually, no, I've never seen T'Challa lift a car.
As far as raw strength, I've never seen him do it either, but I wouldn't put it past him.
Yeah,
well, he by the full on sprint, he runs about 80 miles per hour.
Yeah. Yeah, he's keeping up with full speed cars. I'm pretty sure Peter can too.
Maybe swinging.
No speed. Because so here's my thing about Peter. His speed isn't coming from him being able to move fast. His speed's coming from his strength. Him every time he steps, he's propelling himself forward with his strength, which again, his nigga is able to lift 10 times his own body weight.
Okay.
Yeah. His nigga is literally catching cars with bare hands. See, his nigga plays catch with cars. He plays catch with cars with no mitt. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he can yeet himself every step of the way.
Yeet.
yeet.
Yeah.
Yeet. Yeah. Nah, man. I love this. I like this. We should do another one of these. We should do another one. Sinister Six wins. Hands down, Sinister Six wins. We should definitely do another one of these. This is pretty fun and pretty dope. I like this.
Yeah, I like the team v team aspect.
Yeah, I'm definitely down to do more team versus teams kind of battle. Plus, I also wanted us to get back to some doing some of those versus battles like the fucking Dread and Riddick one. That I want to do another one of those. That shit was pretty fun.
Ooh, that's good. Dread and Riddick.
Oh, you haven't watched that episode, Jay?
Nah.
Oh man, hit the YouTube, bro. Go back and watch that episode. That was a good fucking episode. That was a good episode.
Facts. I'm gonna do that.
Absolutely. Well, listen, y'all. This has been great. We've done the damn thing as per usual. Tune in next week for the Super Breakdown. Tune in throughout the week for the rest of the Indie Primetime podcast as well. And we'll see you guys next Sunday. And as always, remember, fuck prep time.
Fuck prep time.
Yeah,
Boss
yeah.
prep time.
Amen, amen, amen.